pressure with Kwiatkowski. Set. Dion Bush with another takeaway.
Good evening, my friends from Soldier Field. We have a beautiful night in the best city in the world, where 1 week from this evening, the Chicago Bears will begin their 100th season against the Green Bay Packers, the most anticipated season in 34 years. But first, some unfinished preseason business. Titans versus Bears, courtesy of Advocate Healthcare, live from Soldier Field. My name is Kyle Brantz, and this is what we are calling the second annual Tyler Bray Invitational. Welcome, and we have a very special guest here to my left, a familiar face to Chicagoland. This is the coach, Dave Wannstedt. How are you, Coach?
Between you two pros, how can I be any better?
Well, we'll see how we're doing in the third quarter. Just wait. Jimmy Miller is one of those pros. Jim, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, Kyle. Good to have the Stevenson Patriots back at Soldier Field.
Always beat the pants off Libertyville. But, Coach, what do you want to talk about tonight? What are you excited about in this final preseason game?
I'm looking at the bubble players, the players that are on the bubble, and hopefully they perform well and put the coaching staff having to make some tough decisions. You mentioned 100 years Bears football. I'm going to come back and give some Coach Hallis stories from the very beginning.
Plenty of stories tonight, but what I'm looking for as a former player, 37 players will be released by 4 o'clock on Saturday by the Chicago Bears. Their NFL careers are on the line tonight. Go out and do something about it.
Yes, Bears fans, Tariq Cohen is doing preseason backflips, and we love it. Let's go to the Advocate Healthcare players to watch. Coach, who do you have your eye on tonight?
I'm looking at Kevin Tolliver. He had limited action last year, defensive back. Great size, great speed. Tonight, I think the determining factor, will he go out there and make some plays on special teams and solidify his position?
And I'm looking for Joshua Woods. He's out of Maryland. He was an undrafted free agent a year ago, making the conversion from safety to linebacker, 16 tackles in the preseason. He's been very active. He's a guy I'm going to keep my eye on tonight.
Everybody at home, we want you involved tonight. Please tweet the broadcast. Hashtag QB Connection. Tweets courtesy of Verizon. You want to hear about Jim Miller's quarterback competition with Cordell Stewart? We got you. You want to hear about Coach Wannstedt going to win in the playoffs in the Metro Dome? We got you. But on the flip side of this commercial, it is kickoff, the final chapter of the Bears preseason. Don't go anywhere. So we've got a nice night here at Soldier Field. Let's take a look at this weather, because the number that jumps out to me is 18, gentlemen. There's some wind here tonight. Could it be a player in the kicking game, Jim? We will find out soon, but first we have a kickoff. The Titans did win the toss, chose to defer, and the Bears will receive. Here we go, the final warm-up before the regular season is underway. We're going to get a return from John Franklin, guys. Wrap him up, a decent return. To everybody watching home, we're going to do this a little differently tonight. For all of you who are looking for a traditional play-by-play of Tyler Bray versus Logan Woodside, God bless you, I respect it. But we're going to tell stories. We're going to talk storylines. We're going to get into the stars. And one of those, of course, tonight, Tyler Bray, 6'6", University of Tennessee. But I'm looking at Dave Wannstedt as we look at this first play here. We have not seen Mitch Trubisky throw a pass in the preseason. We're going to see Bray throw a lot. How does that make you feel, Coach?
Well, to be honest with you, it's kind of the new trend, and you can't argue with Matt Nagy, the success he had last year with Mitch. It's kind of the way you look around the league. The older coaches, I think, are still playing their quarterbacks. I've always thought that a quarterback has to make quick decisions when he's under pressure. Can you get that in practice? I don't know.
Bray's going to start off with the completion to Williams-Lambert. Jim, you're the quarterback. We've seen him do some beautiful handoffs a few weeks ago, but now with the Packers 1 week from tonight, where are you with the Mitch Trubisky inactivity?
They've simulated a lot of live action. Granted, the only thing he hasn't experienced is really getting hit, and I think a lot of coaches are very worried about that. As Dave knows, in practice, you're wearing your red jersey, so you don't get hit a lot, and Mitch has yet to experience that.
We got a flag on the field.
Number 47, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
We'll move the Bears back 5 yards. But, Coach, you go back in the day, if somebody like Steve Walsh or Raymond Harris or Curtis Conway was going to stand on the sideline for the entire preseason, not get a hit, not get a rep, would it make you uneasy going into the opener?
Well, it would, yes, a bit, just for the reasons that I said. I just think that, you know, they come off the bench and making a quick decision on an accurate throw is different when you're under pressure as compared to in practice. It's just, you know, this is the new wave. These guys are making so much money now. The owners are more involved, I think. It's just the mentality of the football team to try to go in healthy for game one. The Bears did it last year. It worked.
Well, Kyle, I can just experience it from my experience. You get a false sense of security, as I mentioned, with that red shirt. Sometimes you don't react the way you need to what's going to happen in live action. A lot of guys, after they get hit, react a little bit differently come game time.
Jim, did we even give you a red shirt when you were with me at the Bears?
No, I showed up. Hey, I was number 2 against Green Bay on the road. Coach got a little scared and looked at me and said, hey, you could be in. Stenstrom was a little woozy in that game. You know your assignments, Jim.
That's Ryan Nall who got the carry. He also got the start tonight. We love Ryan Nall. He's kind of a first-team all preseason for the Bears, right, Jim?
Really has done everything well. As for a guy who's grown over the years, one, he's a bigger back. He's got good speed. Last week had the 69-yard run. But I am so impressed with him, and Kyle, you would know this as a running back coming out of the backfield, how well he plucks the football. He can do extended sets. He's very good at blocking assignments, and Coach Nagy says he has really, overall, developed his overall game.
We got a 3rd and long here for Tyler Bray. See if the Bears offense could stay on the field as they set up a screen to Nall, and the Titans wrap him up. We're looking at a punting situation after a short gain here. So we got to get into this all night, though, Coach. It's not as if Trubisky is the only quarterback not playing. Certainly what Sean McVay does out there with the Rams with Jared Goff. And more interestingly, locally here, we have not seen Aaron Rodgers throw a pass in the preseason either. He'll be coming in here a week from tonight. So it's kind of equal footing between the two of them.
I think it's philosophy. You know, you got the head coach, Matt LaFleur, up there at Green Bay coming from the Rams, right? He comes under that Josh, you know, that mentality, and that's what you get. We'll see if it works.
Are you nervous about it, Coach Wanstead?
You know what? I'm not, because I got confidence in Matt Nagy, what he did last year, and I saw the results. So, you know, I'm really not.
So much more to get into. We will talk all the stars, all the storylines. Bears D on the field when we get back.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Advocate Healthcare, Miller Lite, your local Ford stores, and Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Love seeing these shots. Mike Singletary, Buddy Ryan, Gary Fensick, all the greats 34 years ago laying down the law on defense. The Bears defense out there now. Titans backed up inside their 20. It's the old Logan Woodside from the MAC takes the ball for the Titans. Jim, who are you looking at on defense right now?
Definitely Joshua Woods. He's in the game early. Safety converted to linebacker. He's getting a shot early in this game. He's normally been involved in the second halves for the Bears.
That's Jeremy McNichols who gets around the corner. We have a flag on the play.
Got a holding there, absolutely. Corner spot.
Holding offense. Number 88. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
We move the Titans back, and let's talk about the rock star on the sideline for the Chicago Bears, as he's been for the whole preseason. You've seen him in the bucket hat and the rolled-up sleeves. Of course, I'm talking about number 52, Khalil Mack. There he is, looking incredible. Coach Wanstead, you have had some of the greatest pass rushers in history. Jason Taylor, Charles Haley, Richard Dent. How does that man compare to them?
Well, he's obviously got as much ability, and he plays maybe harder than some of them. You know, last year what he did was incredible, to come in and not have it really any training camp and not just perform at a high level, but understand the defense. I mean, the guy, you know, first step quickness, the guy makes plays. I remember early on, he ran by guys surrounding him on defense, and when you see that on tape, that's easy. The coach loves that because he raises the play and the effort of everybody that's around him. And when you got your best player giving that type of effort and making plays, everybody else, it's contagious.
Titans back here up at a 2nd and 15. We know the natural ability. We know how incredible he is when he's on the field. Coach, I got to ask again, do you want Khalil Mack to get a sweat, to get a few reps at all in the preseason?
Okay, this is the philosophy that I had with all my players, and I would tell these guys that going into preseason. I remember talking to Jason Taylor and saying, listen, when I see your performance at the A level, where we have to be to win a Super Bowl, then you're going to know it, I'm going to know it, and the team's going to know us, and then you'll have had enough. Now, can you get that done in practice? Or everybody goes it a different way. That's how I would determine if a player was ready to go out and win a Super Bowl for us. I think he's got to show you that he can do it again. You can't take off what he did last year.
3rd and long for the Titans. It's nearly picked, but it's incomplete. Great series for this Bears defense out here tonight. That's Michael Joseph who was on the coverage.
Yeah, simple out route, great in coverage on that particular play by Michael Joseph. Cody Hollister doesn't come flat enough, but right in the hip pocket. That's how you break on the football. Yeah, he's got his arm around him, but that's not the type of contact that they're going to throw a flag on. Good job rebounding from last week to this week for Michael Joseph.
Another special teams play. This is good for these players on the bubble. Keep in mind, these guys, with a lot of guys competing, this is their only chance to make the football team.
That's our guy Clifton Duck on the punt return. A lot of Bears fans have responded to his play. We got a late flag on this as he feels the punt out of bounds. Jim, tell us about Clifton Duck this preseason.
I'll tell you what, man, this guy's been a fun player to watch when you look at Clifton Duck and what he brings to the table, because one, he's diminutive in stature. Yep. There's no doubt about that. But for him, he's very productive at Appalachian State. 12 interceptions, always finds his way around the football. Look back to 2 preseasons games ago against the Giants. Breaks on the ball on a bootleg naked, makes a play.
During the kick, unsportsmanlike conduct against the kicking team, number 20, went out of bounds and did not return at his first opportunity. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the result of the play. First down, Chicago. Timeout.
Bears offense back on the field. More Mitch Trubisky talk with Jim and Coach on the backside. All right, Bears fans, we all want tickets to the opener. But if you don't have tickets to that game, join the fun at Grant Park. The NFL is hosting a free party. Appearances by Bears legends. You can even get your picture taken with the Super Bowl trophy. It starts at noon on Thursday, September 5th. You can even watch the game right there. I happen to know from a good source, the Good Morning Football program and NFL Network will also be there. It's going to be a party, and it's a free one. You cannot beat it. Bears offense is back on the field. Tyler Bray wearing that old Jim McMahon number 9. We're going to talk more about Mitch Trubisky. Not only him not playing, but his ability and whatnot. But we have a 1st and 10 here for the Bears offense in Titan territory. That's going to be a run to Nall to the right side, who puts his shoulder down for a short gain.
Yeah, here's the penalty on the punt by the Tennessee Titans. You see Tolliver right here. Kevin Tolliver, that's who Coach was talking about. He's got the long arms to extend to push him outside. He's over a 6'2 corner. Watch him extend. Can't fight through it. That's Kenneth Thurton, who's a pretty big corner for Tennessee on the gunner. He's got to make an attempt to get back in bounds. As I mentioned, Bears gained 29 yards on that exchange of possession right there. Nice job by Kevin Tolliver.
It's a huge gain, and that's why they're in Titans territory. Jim, we're talking about the concept of Mitch Trubisky not playing in the preseason, specifically not taking any hits. You have a lot of experience on that. Where does that make you feel?
Well, you know, when I was with the Steelers, nice throw right there by Tyler Bray on the curl route.
That's Thomas Ives down on the far side there. Big gain. Clock continues to run.
And here it is. That's a nice route by Thomas Ives. He's really come alive here in the preseason. Had 3 receptions last week. Really comes back just to the football right there. Ball's in a nice spot by Tyler Bray. There you go. That's the way to come down your route stem right there. And then he throws it away from the corner right there. Good ball placement, and then make the run after the catch. Nice job by Ives. But what I was talking about with Greg Lloyd and Kevin Green, they were rushing all the time in Pittsburgh now. You don't always, like I said, you like to take those hits, but those guys would always let you know they're there. They'd come around and they'd punch me in the gut, Coach, and let me know, hey, Jimmy, we know you're young, but we're going to find out how tough you are.
Nall's real tough right up the middle. They move the pile. Gets an ovation here from the Soldier Field. That's a 6-yard run, but it's as tough as you get. Nall looks like he's running for a roster spot here.
You know, you see the field position where the Bears started there. That's something that jumped out at me from last year. Their defense came up with all the turnovers, yes, but the offense did a phenomenal job. I thought when they got the ball at the 50 or going in with getting points and scoring touchdowns or field goals. I mean, they have been very, very good at taking advantage of field position.
We're knocking on the door here. We'd love to light up this stadium with an early touchdown to take the lead here. Bray in the shotgun, ends up right up the middle. A few broken tackles. That's Josh Caldwell, rookie free agent from Northwest Missouri State. That's a hard run here. This Bears team's playing hard early on.
You know what's interesting? Up at practice, this guy's got a reputation of practicing like he's going to play, and I think it carries over. I mean, you see right there, that was a great read, obviously cutting off his block, and then he showed some toughness at the end.
As much as we love the Stars, it doesn't get any better than watching guys try to run for a job, try to run for a roster spot. 3 wide receiver set. Goes again to Caldwell up the middle, gain of 2. And does that move the chains? I think we're looking at a 1st and goal, guys. Yes, it does. Yes. Knocking on the door. You know, Jim, talking about Trubisky, part of the reason I think Bears fans are so eager to see him is because the last time we saw him, in fact, the last throw we saw him make was one of his best throws of the season down to Allen Robinson to set up the kick against the Eagles.
It really was. That was probably one of his epic drives of the season. Hey, it's a big game, playoff game against the Philadelphia Eagles, and you basically need 30 yards to get in field goal range, and you got to make the plays. He made 2 great throws to Allen Robinson. That's all you can ask your quarterback to do, to put your team in a position to win, and he did that.
Ray goes to the end zone. Almost a one-handed catch. We almost had it. That was Thomas Ives again. Rookie free agent from Colgate, the Patriot League. I love it.
And you know what? Watch the concentration right here. This receiver, it's all hands, right? It's all hands. When you see receivers go up like that, that shows the confidence that they have in making a play. If that's underthrown a little bit more, he might catch it with one.
Nall is back on the field. Bray is back under center. This is the 7th play of this drive. Looks pretty nice. This preseason crowd ready to explode. We can get a little pay dirt here. Going to Nall, tries to turn north and south, but not much. So, Jim, to finish the point on Trubisky, we're going to see him next Thursday. It's season number 3. It's time for him to step up. We talked all preseason. It's not QB 101 anymore. It's 202.
Yeah, he's further along in this offense. They really have expanded quite a bit from their base offense a year ago. They expanded some of the concepts and introduced more as the season went along. And I have to believe there's been a lot of that this offseason. He knows what defenses he's seeing now. He's seen a lot of blitzes last year. I thought even from week 1 to how he progressed to week 16 was tremendous. And I expect a lot more this year. And I know he's hungry to do it and show it.
Bray looking to throw to the end zone, back shoulder throw. Touchdown! Bear down! Jesper Horsted, Princeton University. That is 6 points. Oh, I am fired up on that one, guys.
Ivy League, who's from Princeton?
Let me tell you this guy, Jesper Horsted. Maybe the greatest athlete in the history of Princeton University. I'm not exaggerating. Center field on the baseball team. Shattered every single receiving record at Princeton. They've been playing football at Princeton for 150 years. I don't know if they've ever seen somebody like this. Jesper Horsted, have a day.
And had a great touchdown last week. His catch last week was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Defensive back was in good position. Give the quarterback a little credit on that one also. That was great combination between receiver and quarterback.
Well, it seems that the crowd here is on their feet for an extra point. Jim, why could that be?
Eddie Pinheiro, obviously he's getting his shot. Last week was a perfect 5 for 5, 2 field goals, made the 3 extra points. Obviously the 58-yarder really got Bears fans excited.
Come on, Eddie. It looks like somebody got a hand on it, guys. We'll have to take a second look. It went far wide, but I think somebody got a hand on it. Jesper Horsted got the touchdown, but we got to talk about Eddie Pinheiro on the backside. We'll do it right after this break. But he blocked it, right? All right, let's take a look.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Advocate Healthcare, the official healthcare provider of the Chicago Bears.
Welcome back, and we got a lot to talk about. First, the Ford's drive summary. Jesper Horsted, 8-yard touchdown after an 8-play drive. That is the second week in a row that the undrafted free agent from Princeton, the Jerry Rice of the Ivy League, scored a touchdown. Great looking play from Horsted. But all the conversation right now is what happened after the touchdown. That gentleman right there.
We'll see how he kicks off. See if he bounces back here a little bit.
Eddie Pinheiro missed the extra point following the Horsted touchdown. The kickoff seems to be pure. In fact, it's going to go out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
But we need to see this extra point again because the city is watching.
Yeah, and here's the replay. It doesn't look like it can be blocked at all. It looks like Pat O'Donnell has a good hold on it. Guys, I think he just hooked it left. Yeah, here's the look. Let's get the hold right here. A lot of mechanics going on here with the long snapper, Patrick Scales, then the hold. And it looks like he just pulled it to the left.
Yeah, definitely, no question.
Well,
protection was good, right, Jim?
We all talked to Chris Tabor, the special teams coach yesterday of the Bears. They're working on the presentation of the snap to the holder just to get Eddie Pinheiro a fraction of a second to see it a little bit longer.
You know, kickers are like golfers. Confidence, you can't lose your confidence. The Bears got to come back and score, get this young kid into another position where he can make a kick and get his confidence back. I mean, this is big right here. I mean, we went through Dallas. We won a Super Bowl with a rookie kicker, and Lynn Elliott. And the next year he comes out and misses 2 kicks, and we cut him because he lost his confidence.
Yeah. Look at Coach Tabor talking to the young kicker right now. Here, we'll see it after this call.
False start. Offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
And when we talked to Coach Chris Tabor, he talked about, one, his kickoffs are better, his mechanics, and he's got a big leg, everybody knows that. But much like a quarterback, when you throw from a pocket, say the ball's got to be gone at a certain time. For kickers, that ball's got to be up anywhere from 1.3 seconds. By 1.36, it's too late. And here's the coach talking to the young kicker.
Yeah, and you know what? I've been here a lot of times, and when he says that, what happened? You want the kid saying to him, Coach Nagy, you want him saying, I just missed the kick. You know what I mean? I just missed it. You don't want to hear any excuses. Don't blame it on the holder, Jim. Don't blame it on the snapper.
Well,
Coach, I missed it.
Hey, kicking in the swamp, I respect it at Florida. Right. He was 88%. He's a record holder. He came out as a junior. Hey, you kick in front of these professional fans here that love football. You want to talk about pressure, this is a tough place to kick at Soldier Field.
Yeah. Bears defense is facing a 3rd and 8. It's going to be incomplete. Coach Matt Nagy has been steadfastly supportive of Eddie. It is his guy. He's trying to build as much confidence as possible. But getting inside Coach Nagy's head right now, you're saying we need to find another opportunity as soon as possible? Get that golf club back in his hand?
I believe so. I mean, that's the only way that the kid's going to feel good. And, the rest of your football team. Matt's not really worried right now as much about the fans, obviously. He's worried about having this kid be confident enough and the players in the football team believing in him.
Titans are back to punt after the second straight 3-and-out forced by the Bears defense. Duck's going to get a chance to return this one. And he turns it up, short return. Much more to come. We have a flag on the play. Stand by, please.
You know what? We talk about performance. Penalties will get a guy cut as quick as bad performance.
And it's really been on the coverage units, Coach.
It's all part of it. Yep, it's all part of it now. If the 2 players are close, they're going to take the guy that's not going to make the mistake.
Coming into this preseason game tonight, and this is a lot. This is a big average. Out of 17 punts the Bears had punted, 14 were returned. I mean, so coverage units are going to be huge, and they need to pick up their units a lot
During
better.
the kick, player out of bounds on a punt, number 16. That player went out of bounds on his own. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the results of the play. First down, Chicago, timeout.
Another penalty in the kicking game. Bears offense back on the field. Maybe another kicking attempt on the backside. Don't go anywhere. Bears fans, join Jeff Joniak, Tom Thayer, and Luke Canellis for Bears Game Day Live and Game Night Live. Sundays, 10:30 a.m., 10:35 p.m. during the regular season. Fox 32 in Chicago. Well, we come back to Soldier Field where there's a lot of chatter, a lot of energy in the stands, and the Bears offense back on the field with a whole bunch of storylines. Back to the preseason, Jim, we got Kareth White back on the field. We've been very intrigued by that running back battle.
Lot of speed. You got Null that can do everything, and this guy brings a ton of speed, and he can break a long one in a hurry.
Yeah, that position at running back is all of a sudden, I think, turned into a real strength. You know, I mean, we're not even, we're not seeing David Montgomery, the rookie, the third-round pick. I mean, I saw this kid play for 3 years at Iowa State. He plays big against big competition. He beat Oklahoma, knocked them out. I'm excited to see him when it counts next week.
Bears set up a 2nd and 8, but I know a lot of people are excited about Montgomery. Anybody having fantasy drafts, anyone looking to buy a jersey, they love this guy, especially what he'll do with that trio in the backfield. Let's take a look at some, by the way. Give us some Montgomery, please. Drink it in, Bears fans. What do you think, Coach?
Well, I know what I think. I think the guy's tough to tackle. I think the guy's really got better hands than what people give him credit for. I would, nowadays everybody likes to put players into, oh, he's a receiving back or he's just a short yardage guy. This guy would be a complete back, I think. I think he comes on the field, you can play all 3 downs with him. He's going to be very exciting.
So many exciting players in that backfield as we have a player down injured on the field that they are checking out. We're looking at Montgomery there with Kyle Long. I don't know about you, Jim, but it felt last year, the Jordan Howard thing, it never really felt to me like he was Coach Nagy's guy. I'll never forget, there was a mic'd up moment where he came over and he hugged Jordan Howard and said, I'm going to get you going. I promise I'm going to get you going. Just didn't feel like it was his guy. Now he's in Philadelphia, and Coach Nagy has his guys. He's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, well, just the history of that position and what Coach Nagy has grown up with under Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Think of Brian Westbrook there for the Philadelphia Eagles. Good all-around back that could do everything.
Yep.
Look, when they landed in Kansas City, they draft Kareem Hunt. That guy was a do-it-all back and could do everything. And I just think he wants a guy who's a little bit more versatile in space, more creative, can make guys miss. And that's what really David Montgomery was known for. He led the nation 2 years in a row in making tacklers miss, Coach. And you get a couple more yards, get a couple more first downs. That's important during the game.
He falls into that category. We used to always say, let's get those players that do things that we don't have to coach.
This was the injury here to Dax Raymond, the undrafted free agent from Utah State. Gets sandwiched in between a couple of guys. Helmet hits the ground. Don't want to speculate, but he is now walking off the field under his own power.
That's good.
This is a guy who's played really hard in the preseason too, Jim.
That's good to see. One for him. One, he was a very productive player in college, more known for his route running ability, but I've been impressed. He's been more of a leverage blocker for the Bears. That's what everybody questioned about him when he came out of Utah State, but very productive in the pass game. 72 receptions. Just as a player, never want to tuck your head getting tackled or going to the ground. Looks like that's what happened on that play.
New set of downs for Bray, who's going to go play action. Look out. He's going to be sacked. That's a big loss. Big loss. That's Ty Smith of the Titans.
Yeah, this is something that usually you get into that 4th preseason game, and you're going to just, defensively, you're going to just start blitzing people and trying to create some plays, because that's an easy call. I don't think it really, I never like to do it, have my coaches do it, because now you're trying to evaluate some defensive backs, Jim, and they're out there one-on-one. Play the package that you're going to use. It's going to happen. You're going to see Chuck Pagano do the same thing on the other side.
Yeah, but it's a good poaching point. It's to the backside of the quarterback, and they're bringing a cat corner blitz by Ty Smith, so quarterback's got to see it and feel it a little bit earlier.
Bray back in the shotgun. He's going to hand off to Kareth White for minimal gain. Dave, is there anything that goes on in these games where there's something of a gentleman's agreement between coaches about how you're going to approach it, how you're going to pressure?
Between the kickers, there always was, and I assume there still is. I mean, we would talk about, we're going to rush you. The first time you punt in the 3rd quarter, we're going to bring everybody and try to block your punt. We're going to come in the 1st quarter, we're going to try to block your field goal at full speed. And it was because of so many backups being played that the coaches really would discuss live compared to not live.
We got 3rd and a mile for the Bears. Looks like they got a free play as the Titan came across the line, and Bray's going to chuck it. And again, we complete this thing. That is our guy from Colgate, Thomas Ives, who's having a nice night tonight, playing like he wants to make this team. That was a 3rd and 20 they've appeared to convert.
Offside defense, number 45. That penalty is declined, result of the play.
Yeah, we like this.
First down.
You like this play. This is a heady play by Tyler Bray. See the offsides by the defender in the neutral zone, and then just take a shot.
Oh, I like how he sits down, huh,
Third
Jimmy?
long situation, yeah. And obviously, Ives going up and making a play. Throttles him in the hole. It was his own coverage. Cover 2, it looked like on the outside. Safety was coming over.
Another pass from Bray. This time we go out to Taquan Mizell, who gets put down hard for a minimal gain.
I'll tell you one thing Bray's doing, he's giving a lot of people opportunities. You know, I think he's thrown to 6 different receivers.
He's got a big arm. He's always had a big arm out of Tennessee. Unfortunately, broke his wrist early as a Kansas City Chief, and they just kind of stashed him for a couple years while he was getting healthy. He's been in the system for a long time, his entire career that he's been in the NFL, whether Kansas City or here in Chicago, so he should feel pretty comfortable in it.
Jim, any reason to think that this team would carry 3 quarterbacks?
He still has practice squad eligibility, so I personally think he will get released by Saturday, but then re-signed on as a practice squad player.
Nall's trying to make the big boy team for sure. He's been trying for weeks. We love the way he plays. That's going to be another short gain right up the middle. Meanwhile, Tyler Bray, like you said, Coach, has hit 7 different receivers doing his job, trying to help guys make the team.
Yeah, and you wonder if that's not coming from Mark Helfrich, the offensive coordinator, trying to get the ball to different guys to give them a chance to make a play, improve it or not.
Chicago Bears, guys, will hold a Bears Huddle for 100 volunteer initiative on Saturday, September 7th, which encourages fans to donate 100 minutes of their time to help their communities and clean up the parks. The first 1,000 participants to register and show up to volunteer will receive a free Bears t-shirt. To register, please visit chicagobears.com/Bears Huddle for 100. There it is right there on the screen, chicagobears.com/Bears Huddle for 100. A very cool thing they're doing as we look at the QB1 on the sideline. You know, I got a chance to visit with Mitch and that man right there, Cody Whitehair, on the field before the game. I can tell you this, they're loose, they're ready, but there's also a feeling of these Bears who have not played are almost like caged animals. Like they cannot wait to get out there and eat, and it's contagious.
You know, one point on Mitch is we were just talking about him. I thought the one thing that he did good last year, Jim, early in the year, he was scrambling to run. I thought as the season went on, he would start scrambling to throw. You know, you look at Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson will scramble every down, but he's not scrambling to run. He's scrambling to find receivers. I thought Mitch did a much better job of that as the year went on.
Here we go. That is incomplete, and that is going to leave a 4th down within field goal range, gentlemen. Pass was intended for Horsted. Are we seeing Eddie Pinheiro? Or do they go for it? It appears that they're going to keep the offense on the field. Jim, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think you'd like to test the young kicker. I really do. I think you want to go through with the mechanics as much as you can. I'm sure Coach Nagy has his reasons why, but why not test? Maybe it's more about the leg. He feels good on the ones he can bank from long distance, like 58 last week. Maybe it's about more some of the finesse kicks.
This would have been a 49-yarder. They're electing to go for it. Interesting decision as Bray completes. Guess who? Mr. Thursday Night, Thomas Ives. This guy's on fire. 11-yard gain.
Really good eyes and delivery. You see him on the drop back. He's got the shotgun, has his eyes up the middle of the field, then just comes back, hits the quick slant by Ives. Really nice job. See, good move. He stepped to the outside and then cut in. Set up the DB well on that particular play on the slant. Nice accurate throw by Tyler Bray. See the linebacker underneath. That might have been 1-1 funnel, Coach, and he got it past the linebacker right there.
The handoff goes to Caldwell. Minimal gain on the play.
Yeah, that was another excellent throw by Bray. I mean, let's give him some credit. You know, he's ready to play. I don't know who else is ready, but I know he's ready. I've seen enough of him.
You've had enough of Bray, you're good?
Coach, I'm good on him.
Coach wants that never changed. The first quarter now is over. The Bears are up 6-0 on the strength of a Jesper Horsted touchdown, but a missed extra point. Lot more to come from here in Soldier Field. The Bears offense is knocking on the door. We're going to get in Trubisky, Khalil Mack, Allen Robinson on the flip side. Don't go anywhere. Bears football, second quarter on the other way.
Hi, this is Mike Singletary. Here's to the next 100 years of Chicago Bears football. Go Bears.
He's Samurai Mike. He stops him cold. Part of the defense, big and bold. Love seeing the greats like that, especially number 50. And I love seeing this Bears offense, gentlemen, going and knocking on the door one time. This is the 11th play coming. It's a 5-minute drive that Tyler Bray has put together.
You'd probably like to run it some here, but the way Bray's throwing the ball, I expect that they're going to throw it a couple more times.
What do you think, Jim? A Horsted touchdown or an Ives touchdown?
Yeah,
Who you got?
They're the hot hands right now, but let's check it down now to Dax Raymond. So
great to see Dax Raymond back on the field. He was shaken up momentarily ago. He gets back on the field, gets a catch, and the Bears drive keeps on going.
Good decision. Everybody's running off on the outside. Just a little Y option to Dax Raymond. Like I said, good to see him back in there so quickly. They go to him early, test the young man, see how tough he is, and obviously comes back and makes a play.
Tight ends have been a big part, Jimmy, of what the Bears have done here tonight. I mean, that's encouraging.
That's a big talk. Are they going to keep 4 tight ends or 5?
Yep.
They're all getting showcased quite a bit.
Ives at the bottom of the screen. Does Bray look his way? No, he tries to set up a screen. So, gentlemen, that sets up a 4 and 3. A fourth and three, rather. Coach.
Yeah, you got to kick it here.
Here we go. We saw Eddie Pinheiro miss an extra point last time, and your reaction, Coach Juan, says we got to get him another opportunity.
This is perfect.
Here we go.
This is perfect. Distance-wise, you love it. Hey, he missed that short putt. He's got to come back and make another one right now.
32-yarder. There's light winds. Of course, Pat O'Donnell on the hold as always, and here we go. Perfect. Great snap, great hold, and the crowd goes wild, gentlemen. That's it, Eddie. We love you, Eddie. Fans on their feet. A thing of beauty. That's right, 15.
There we go.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by PNC, Verizon, United Airlines, and Hyundai.
Always great to see the sweetness, the best there ever was. Good to see Jared Payton down on the field before the game, too, looking incredible, doing his thing as always. As the Bears set to kick off, there he is. Give it a boot, Eddie. We got you, buddy. That's right. So if you're just tuning in, Eddie Pinheiro had missed an extra point, but before this last commercial break, drilled a field goal. And what do we got in the sideline?
I think he missed that first one on purpose.
Really?
I think he just wanted to get us stirred up and all the fans talking about it. He's fine.
Well, Coach Tabor, what do you think that message was there, Jim? He looked like he was excited, but there was a finger point. We're doing a body language reading now.
Coach Tabor talked to us yesterday and said, hey, rookie kickers, even look at the great Robbie Gould or look at Adam Vinatieri. They were below 80% their rookie seasons. They know he's a young, talented guy that can really grow as a young kicker for the Bears.
Titans under center now. Meanwhile, 1st and 10. They're going to run the ball. They have not gotten anything going, or maybe it's these Bears defensive players trying to make the team. They look great. And this guy's having a night.
He is. Not only is he completing passes, I love how he's completing passes to 6-7 different receivers. That tells me as a coach that he understands the offense. He's going to find the open guy. He's reading the defense, and he's throwing the ball accurately. I mean, he's helping himself. Whether it's with the Bears or another team, people are going to be talking about him tomorrow around the league.
This Thomas Ives looks fantastic out of Colgate. You don't know Colgate. I played against Colgate a couple times. They got some great athletes, a smaller program in the Patriot League in New York, but Ives just looked fantastic tonight. That pass is completed. We got a flag down on the field.
I think we got holding there on the backside.
Okay.
Holding offense. Number 61. 10-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
So we are thrilled to announce this, gentlemen. We have the first question from Twitter. We asked you, tweet hashtag QB Connection through Verizon. Here we go. I love it from Katie Ron.
Oh,
Best NFL mustache. Hostetler, Jeff George, Ditka, or Wanstead. I mean, that's like a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Dave, what do you think?
You want me to answer it? Come on.
Yes,
what
I do.
What are we doing here? Please.
Yes, I do.
I'm going to say Mike Ditka. How do you like that one?
Well, just let you know, Dave was doing a lot of manicuring up here before the game.
I don't think they make up.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
Yeah,
Here it is right here. Look at that, Dave. You look a lot better today.
Look at the brown hair, huh?
You groomed a lot better. And nice to see you still got this here, Dave.
Yeah, I
but
do.
you look at that. Look at him today. Now you're groomed so much better. You're older. You're more mature.
The coaches yell. The coaches yell at players anymore. I don't.
Yeah,
even
that's
know.
what I mean. That's what I like about you, Dave.
That's in the collective bargaining agreement too.
You're not yelling at anybody anymore. You're not up here yelling at Kyle.
Unbelievable.
You're going to blow a circuit with that blow dryer, Coach. 3rd and 19. The ball's checked out. You know what I respect about your mustache, Dave?
What?
You wore it back in the day, unironically. Now everyone's got a mustache. And since then, you see some of the greats. Tom Selleck has lost the mustache. Alex Trebek has lost the mustache. You are still stashed out with pride.
I'm living here in Chicago right now. Come on, that has something to do with it.
Comes back in fashion. You saw Aaron Rodgers.
There's one.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
It looks good, but that's not an OG. That is a Johnny-come-lately mustache on Mike Vrabel. He didn't have that as a player.
Can I talk football here for a minute?
What do you mean?
I want to talk about this Bears defense in a minute, okay?
All right, but we got a punt here so we can talk more mustaches.
I want to talk a little bit Chuck Pagano, Vic Fangio.
All right, the ball's bouncing around. He's got a risky return here from Clifton Duck, but as a guy trying to make the team, you grab it.
Another good field position start.
Our ratings just skyrocketed with the mustache talk, but we have to break. Let's look ahead to the road to the 2019 season with Hyundai. We are looking, of course, at the greatest force in maybe the entire National Football League. Khalil Mack, number 52. As we know, guys, last year at this time, he was not even a member of the Bears yet. He was not really with any team because he was holding out from the Raiders. The day after the last preseason game, they make the move and get Khalil Mack. So what does that mean, Jimmy? Tomorrow we're going to wake up and the Bears get Jadeveon Clowney? No. But let's do some Mack highlights.
It's never over till it's over. Great job by Ryan Pace. That's what I would say.
Ryan Pace has been on a heater for a couple of years, just dropping talent all over the field, and there's some more of it in Josh Caldwell. Let's look at some of this Ferrari right here that Ryan Pace brought in. No training camp, no chemistry with the Bears, no problem. Get out the way, guys.
Little power rush. I'm going to give... What did I say earlier? Get those players that do things that you don't have to coach. This guy is just a phenomenal. He's got instincts and athletic ability and toughness. Yeah, boy. I'll tell you what.
He's at
Gotta love it.
The guy's a wrecking ball. Guys like him, J.J. Watt, Von Miller, Chandler Jones. I mean, they can wreck your protections in a hurry and certainly have the instincts to read an interception like that for a touchdown.
Ray's going downfield. It's Jesper Horsted again, Mr. Automatic tonight. Let's just do some more Mack. Bears fans, how much do you love Mack? Here's his numbers over the last 2 years, all right? Go back 2 seasons with Oakland, 16 games, 10.5 sacks. You know what sticks out to me? The multi-sack games, when he already gets you once and then he gets you again. The question isn't, is he great? The question is he the greatest defensive player in the league? Aaron Donald is a hell of a player, but Khalil Mack's right there with him.
I evaluated him close last year doing some of these shows, and 3 weeks in a row, he beat offensive linemen with 3 different moves. So this guy's just not running around people.
Bears continue to march. I think the greatest quote about Mack was uttered by Bears tight end Ben Braunecker. You know him. He's a tight end from Harvard. He is a cellular biology major, which means he's going to run the world someday. This is what he had to say about his teammate Khalil Mack. I consider Khalil the next evolutionary step in the human athlete. Ben Braunecker, that is beautiful, and I think it's accurate. Jim, you played against some incredible guys on the field, some pass rushers. Mack might be a different dude.
I don't know what's more impressive. The smart tight end, he sounds like Bill Nye the Science Guy. But when you look at him, he's absolutely right. Some guys are just that gifted at the game of football, and he's one of them. He truly is, Coach.
And in a position where you have to have it. Just going back, we had a good football team at Dallas. Almost a similar situation. A week before our opener, we traded for Charles Haley. It was the year we went on to win the Super Bowl. Got to have guys that can pressure the passer.
Game records, and he's versatile, Coach. You saw Fangio last year flip sides with he and Leonard Floyd, and I think Chuck Pagano will continue that trend.
There he is, Ben Braunecker, Mr. Harvard, with the quote of the year. This guy is, as he talks here to Adam Shaheen, like I said, cellular biology major. He is working on curing infectious diseases.
Wow.
Oh, I love it.
As we're sitting here talking football, Ben Broniker is going to change the world someday. Meanwhile,
Impressive.
he's trying to make the team here as we figure he will, and he's dropping poetry about Khalil Mack. Bears continue to march, guys. We now have a third down as Josh Caldwell's just been chipping away. They put the brakes on the Braymaker, number 9, who was throwing the ball all over the field, and we're getting either ready for a touchdown or maybe, if this crowd gets what they want, another Eddie Pinheiro field goal attempt.
Good mechanics by the coach. Last week, Mark Helfrich, the offensive coordinator, was calling the plays. Tonight, it's Dave Ragone, so you're getting a mixture, and Coach Nagy really stretching the duties of the coaches to prepare, hey, if something happens during the regular season.
It's Caldwell again to the outside. He's going to turn the corner. 5 inside the goal line. We're looking at a 1st and goal Bears. Flag on the play. Let's take a look. Go ahead, Dave.
That's a good point, Jim. Last year this
Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Remaining 2nd down.
Last year this offensive staff, the offensive line coach, obviously Harry Hested, he had never worked with Matt Nagy before. Helfrich, they had a lot of coaches in very critical positions, I think, that was the first time they were working together. So I look for a lot more continuity, as the year goes on. Defensively, we'll eventually get the defense, I guess, and I'll get a chance to talk, huh?
There's Dave Ragone, the quarterback coach of the Chicago Bears, held over by Matt Nagy when he arrived here in Chicago. Has really done a great job bringing along these quarterbacks, especially the development of Mitchell Trubisky.
How many coaches they got? 22?
24, wow, I believe.
This game has changed. How many Coach Hallis had when he started?
The give is up the middle to Null.
Just a little.
What do you got, Dave?
You see all those coaches, and how much? We got 6 guys calling plays. Hey, Coach Hallis, I remember hearing the story. The late Ed McCaskey, who was CEO, told me when the Bears first started, Coach Hallis, he would coach the game. After the game, he would talk to the team. They would have passed the hat. He would empty the hat in the locker room. 5 cents for you, Jim. 5 cents for you, Kyle. And then after he paid the players, get in his car, drive down to the newspaper, and write the article as the PR director for next day.
It's beautiful. Meanwhile, we got Eddie P with another kick, and it is good. 39 yards. Jim, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Did you see the fist pump? He gave some swag there. That's why the players love him. He gave the fist pump.
He's on fire. We'll have reaction as the Bears go up, and Eddie Pinheiro goes right down the middle.
Booyah.
Have a night, Eddie.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer of your Chicago Bears.
Welcome back. We are fired up, as is the Soldier Field crowd, about the defense and about the kicker. You're seeing a 12-0 score. 6 of those points came from that man, who also is 2 for 2 on touchbacks on kickoffs. That is the guy who has compelled this city for months, the kicker from Florida, who blasts another one. This one kind of a low runner. We'll see it return. No, we won't. It actually bounces into the back of the end zone. Bears fans, select single game Bears tickets are available now to cheer on the monsters of the Midway at Soldier Field this season. Visit chicagobears.com/tickets. Go get your tickets to see this incredible show this team is going to put on this year. But how about the show tonight from Eddie Pinheiro? So many questions. Got a little strange early on when he missed an extra point, and then since then, look at that. That says it all right there.
His teammates, I thought, when he hit that 58-yarder against the Giants, you could see the love of the team. They're rooting for the guy as he goes out there and makes a big kick, and they were truly proud of him for making that kick.
Logan Woodside's going to chuck one deep downfield. He's got a man who makes a great catch. That is a big completion. Prior to that, the Bears defense had only allowed 12 yards. But we have a special guest here. We have the wide receiver 1. The last time we saw this gentleman, he was setting a Bears playoff record for single game receiving yards. Allen Robinson, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
We're great. It has been a long off season. It's been a long preseason. How eager are you to get out there on that field next Thursday night, Allen?
Oh, very. Like you said, it's been a long off season, and I mean, for any player, I think they're ready to get back out there now.
Well, but Allen, this is Jim Miller. Good to talk to you again. For you, it's been a lot better. Last year at this time, You couldn't perform in the OTAs. You're coming off the ACL. Just how much more productive it's been for you to be able to be out there with your teammates?
Oh, so much more. Like I said before, from the time the season ended last year, I was able to take the first off-season period and go train, and then have OTAs, and then after that go train. So I mean, for me, I was able to get in a lot of quality work that I wasn't able to last year. Last year I didn't start running the routes till about mid-June or so. So I was able to have a whole off-season to really prepare for this year.
Hey, Alan, Coach wants to hear, how would you evaluate this group of receivers? You added a couple of young guys compared to last year. I mean, where do you guys at today?
I would say we're very deep and very versatile. I think, again, I'm not comparing to last year. I thought last year we had a very good group as well, and a very gritty group. So at the end of the day, we got to go out here and improve ourselves from the top down. Again, I mean, like I said before, it looks all good on paper for everybody, but at the end of the day, we got to go out there and we got to put in the work this year.
Alan, thank you for your time. We have one question that's really important before you go. You were asked on Twitter back over the spring, do you prefer Chicago-style pizza or New York? And you said neither. Detroit-style pizza is the
Most
best.
Definitely.
Don't at me. Do you want to double down on that, sir?
Most definitely. Jets pizza all day. That's my favorite. I do like Chicago-style too, but anytime I really want some pizza, I go to Jets.
Thank you, Alan. Ladies and gentlemen, Chicago, get this man some Chicago-style pizza. Alan, you're the best.
Thank you.
That was a touchdown.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. That's the wide receiver one. Meanwhile, the Titans punched one in. It was Dallin Dawkins from Colorado State. Prior to this drive, guys, the Bears defense was unconscious. They got a couple of big plays, and they finally hit pay dirt.
Well, they launch one to get the big play on the post route, sets them up in good position to drive it in, and then another accurate throw by Logan Whiteside to get it to the corner of the end zone in the flat.
You know what, though? We talked on the pregame, hey, we're trying to evaluate some of these young corners and safeties. They're getting some opportunities here because one thing I like that Chuck Pagano's not doing, he's not blitzing every dime. You know what I mean? So he's letting the guys play, and this will be great tape to watch tomorrow.
No doubt. It's a big weekend, of course, for the Bears. All the decision makers. Ryan Pace will have his hands full as the extra point is no good. But I have an important update. We'll be sending Allen Robinson some Beggar's Pizza so he can get the mother's milk, the good stuff. Jim, you're from Michigan. I'm not even sure what Detroit pizza is necessarily.
Jets Pizza.
But we'll talk about it in the commercial. Beggar's Pizza coming to you, A-Rob. You deserve it.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by PNC, the official bank of the Chicago Bears.
Welcome back to Soldier Field. Look at that adorable fan in the Khalil Mack jersey. A lot of jerseys out here tonight, a lot of excitement because, of course, the real deal. Bears-Packers next Thursday night right here. You know who's been the real deal tonight? Real deal Eddie Pinheiro. Missed an extra point early, but then brought the house down with a couple kicks in a row. We'll get to Eddie. Meanwhile, guys, there's more questions coming in from Twitter. Hashtag QB Connection. Thank you to Verizon. The last one was about Dave's mustache. Let's see if we get anything with a little more gravitas this first time. Tell me it's not about Dave's hair. What do the fans want to know tonight, I wonder, as we wait for the Titans kickoff?
What kind of pizza I eat?
Beggars, of course.
Pisano's.
Tyler Bray standing by, been doing work tonight. It's actually a really nice crowd, a nice energy for a game for the preseason, don't you think?
Very impressive, absolutely.
That's a challenge. It's going to be a quick turnaround till next Thursday night. As you mentioned, there's going to be a lot of moves made prior to
some of these tailgaters. Jimmy, some of these tailgaters may not leave. They may just stay in their parking spot for the next week.
Set up in the West Lot. All right, I dare to ask, what is the question? Hey, Eddie Pinheiro, have a night. What is the question? Here we go. Who's the best Bear to ever wear the number 15? From Verizon, that comes from Hogan Savoy. Hashtag QB Connection. Jim, any thoughts on the number 15 and what it means to this organization?
I am very partial to the number 15. Brandon Marshall was a pretty good receiver here, but it could be this gentleman right here.
Oh! Look at that bobblehead.
See that, Dave?
Look who you got the ball.
Look at your arms. See how my goatee's all trimmed up there, Dave? I keep it high and tight.
I'm looking at your waistline. You look pretty good there.
Was that $13 they're charging for that?
Hey, I'm telling you, man.
I think if you autograph it, it's then $9.
Just going for a dime on eBay, Kyle.
Yes. Speaking of a dime, that's my man Ryan Nall. Looks like about a 10-yard run right up the middle. You know, there was a deep dive on this. I have to serve the audience here. Number 15 was also worn by a Bear named Bill Fleckenstein back in the 1920s. In 1934, he married actress Mildred Harris, who was previously married to Charlie Chaplin, with whom he lived with until her death in 1944. That's Bears history for you, Bill Fleckenstein.
There we go.
No bobblehead existed, though. So, Coach Wanstead, as the Bears go down the field here, the game's going to end. What are the next 24 hours like for the Bears front office and for the coaching staff?
You know, it actually started before tonight, because usually you have that meeting a couple days before the preseason game when you're talking about who's going to play and who's not. And, hey, all these coaches, everybody says publicly, we're all team players, right, Jim? You know what I mean? We all want the Bears to win, which we do. But individually, each one of these coaches wants to keep they want to cover their butt.
Yep.
So they want to keep the best players at their position. And they may want to keep an extra player at their position. And the guy might not be, and the special teams coach is the guy that's always screaming and yelling, in my opinion, saying, you know what? He might be a good receiver, but he cannot be a flyer on the punt team, and he's not going to help me, so we can't keep this guy. So they really kind of worked their way through that. And then tonight, after the game, and I talked to Chucky Pagano before the game and Mark Kelfridge, after the game tonight, Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, they'll be able to get together. There's probably 4 or 5 guys that are truly, that they can sit down in the locker room here and, hey, how did he play? You know, did he do more than we thought? Is he a practice squad guy? So those decisions will be made. But here's the real catch. Every team, now there's 10 practice squad guys. And all these scouts come into play. No one thinks about them. They've been evaluating these players for 3 or 4 years. And some of these scouts fall in love with these players, and they really believe that the player in Indy, as an example, the defensive back in Indy might be better than the 5th defensive back that we might keep here. And if he's out there, we should grab him. So there's a lot that's going to happen tomorrow.
Let's hear the call as the Ryan Nall play was flagged.
Holding offense, number 49. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
So, Coach, in those cases where there is a disagreement, when the powers that be in the room don't agree, who has the final say? GM, head coach, owner?
Well, it depends. I mean, obviously the owner, George McCaskey owns the team. I mean, he would. But I think usually it comes to the decision before tonight. You know what I mean? And I don't know how it's structured contractually-wise with Ryan and with Matt, but I'm sure these two guys work together. They're seeing the same thing.
Sure. Tyler Bray with the first 20 after the holding penalty. Josh Caldwell's in the game at running back, and Bray's going to cork one over the middle. He tried to hit Taquan Mizell. It's really one of the few misses that Bray's had tonight, and a night that he's looked really, really sharp.
Yeah, tough window on the over route there. Just became a little bit too tight when he got the linebacker buzzing back. Just a little bit too much. Trying to get it over, but, Taquan's not the tallest of wide receivers, making that transition from running back out to wide receiver. And he's done a lot of good things in order to improve himself and make himself a more versatile player.
We were here a year ago, Jim, and Taquan was playing running back. He was the workhorse in the last preseason game.
Absolutely.
Coach, you mentioned a few times, I'm not sure people at home are necessarily familiar with your background with Chuck Pagano and your relationship and how far back it goes with Chucky, as you call him.
Yeah, there's another flag. Chuck and I started together at USC. And Jimmy Johnson gets the University of Miami job. He calls me up, wants me to come down there and run the defense for him. And I says, I'll come, but I got to bring this young coach with me. He said, what's his name? I said, Chucky Pagano. He said, well, I said, the guy is good. He's smart. He's hard worker. Comes from a football family, on and on. Jimmy said, bring him down. The rest is history.
Pass interference, offense, number 81, blocking downfield. 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
The biggest challenge that Chuck is going to have this year, Chuck, when he was at Baltimore as a defensive coordinator, and before he became the coordinator, he was with Rex Ryan. And he's got that blitz pressure mentality. Vic Fangio would just as soon rush 4. If he could do it every time, he'd rush 4. So Chuck right now, he's trying to balance between, because, a lot of good things can happen when you blitz and a lot of bad things. So right now, he's still kind of evaluating the players, from the standpoint of how much can we do? Can we just rush 4? How much pressure do we have to do? It's going to be really interesting. And I told him, don't get bored, Chucky. You know what I mean? You got good guys, and he knows that. I mean, I think he's the perfect guy for this job. The Bears are fortunate to have him.
Ray's going to throw over the middle. That's complete to Caldwell, setting up a 3rd and long. You know, there's a sense with this Bears team that there was so little turnover from last year, and most of these weapons and these coaches stayed, but the big piece that was missing was Vic Fangio. Pagano seems to be the best possible suited person to fill in for it. If you just look at what his defense has done in the preseason alone, I mean, it's the rushing yards are up high. Jim, what do you see?
8 takeaways. They really have picked up where they left off. Hey, they had 2 defensive scores last week alone.
Yeah.
It's been impressive to watch these players, and they've remained aggressive. He's letting them play, putting them in the best position to make plays, to show their talents, to try and make this team. Because as Coach just mentioned, there's only about 3 or 4 spots available. Realistically, this is a very deep roster, well built by Ryan Pace.
And you know what? You know, this was a great hire because Chuck walks in with instant credibility. You know, he's been a head coach. He's been a coordinator before at a high level. I mean, playoffs. So, I mean, he walks in the room, and you know, he'll bring a new sense of energy and some new ideas to these players. I think it's a great hire. I really do.
The way he handles himself, the way he coaches, the way he fought through his health issues, he is really, truly one of the coolest guys in the room. I want to be Chuck Pagano when I grow up. I mean that. There was a piece written on him in The Athletic that talked about his year off that I encourage every Bears fans to read. Talked about all he really did every day was he'd go on the exercise bike, he would work out, and then he'd say, what do you do with the rest of the day? I thought it was really, really deep on what an incredible man he is and what he went through. And could you think of a better guy to be here replacing Vic Fangio in this year that the Bears want to win the Super Bowl?
No, and the players are responding. I was at practice. I sat in one of his meetings up there. I mean, you can just see how those guys, as you mentioned, Jim, you know, they're playing well in the preseason. They're making plays. They're coming up with turnovers. They're coming up with sacks. So, you know, they're doing the things you got to do to play great defense coming out of the preseason.
He had a great record there. He had a winning record there in Indianapolis. Took the team 3 times to the playoffs. Twice they win the AFC South. And, man, he's overcome quite a bit and does have an impact. And a lot of those players really reached out to him when he was dealing with some of the, you know, the battle that he was in with leukemia.
Yep.
And able to come back and
Matt O'Donnell's punt. He tries to get the backspin and can't get it. It's just like me approaching the green. That's going to be a touchback. But I got to tell you, the first half was about number 15. Not you, Jim. Number 15 here, Eddie Pinheiro. Now, it started off pretty weird, I can't lie. This was an extra point. We thought it was blocked because he missed it so badly. It just was a shame. Coach Caber on the sideline talking to him, but he gets back out there, nails center cut. Clapping his hands, and if you think that's a good reaction, he had an even bigger one after this field goal, which was also perfect. Give me the shot, Eddie P. Yeah! Now, I'm not saying that's Jordan over Elo, but that is food for the soul there for Bears fans who are a little nervous about him. You see he has the swag, and he certainly has the leg. Eddie P. on the right track.
And you know what? I always thought, I want a field goal kicker that can make them consistently from 40 in. All the fans, they get hung up on 50-yarders. I don't know.
We'll take it. Number 15's looking good tonight. More football on the backside. We are staying here for Bears-Titans. Bears defense looking good. Pinheiro looking great. We are getting close to halftime of this final preseason game. Bears up 12-6. For a taste of what's coming at halftime, let's go to the pride of Oak Lawn High School. That's the guy, Lou Canellis. What's up, Lou?
Thanks very much, Kyle. Coming up on the Advocate Healthcare Halftime Report, Matt Nagy always wanted to be a teacher, a leader. Coming up, he is now doing it at the highest level. Matt Nagy, last year's NFL Coach of the Year, mic'd up during practice in Bourbonnais, comes your way at halftime. And Kyle, do me a favor, make sure my partner Jimmy Miller up there saves something for next Thursday. He needs to bring it following that Bears-Packers game on Bears Postgame Live here on Fox.
What do you think, Jim? You got anything left next Thursday?
Oh, I'm ready.
My man.
The tank is full.
My man. We'll see some 2-minute here from the Titans. Ball stays in bounds, the clock runs here as we're going to finish out the first half, maybe with the Bears on defense. Can't wait for that Matt Nagy mic'd up package. Coach Juan said, were you mic'd up a lot during games?
No.
Did you not like it?
No.
Maybe we know why.
You know what? I softened up the last couple of years at the Dolphins, you know, when cameras in the locker room. And I think, I don't know.
All this access nowadays.
Oh,
it's invading your space, Dave.
I know.
Would you have liked to do Hard Knocks on HBO with the Bears or Dolphins?
I didn't even like talk radio. Now I do 2 shows a week with the Score. What are we talking about?
Titans back up on the ball. It's going to go incomplete. Coach, you mentioned about, you're joking about going softer later, but there is a real thing to it. When you were with the Bears versus when you were with the Dolphins, how did you handle final cuts? How did you handle the final roster and telling guys they hadn't made the team, and how would you break the news to them?
You know what? It's never easy. I talked to every player that we released, anywhere that I was, and I don't know, I just felt like we owed them that much. I probably was... I sugarcoated things too much with the Bears. I wanted every player. I felt so bad.
Sure.
I wanted every player to feel like, you know what, you can play in this league. Well, really, they couldn't. I think when I got to Miami, I was a little tougher. There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a sack for James Vaughters.
And that's a sack with 4 guys rushing. Watch this.
Outside backer James Vaughters. He has flashed every single game. There is nobody. See him take the inside technique right there. Gets right to Logan Woodside, brings him down. But every game, he has made a play. Every preseason game. If he's not here, I guarantee you that young man is going to be somewhere in the National Football League.
He falls into that category, right?
I think for outside backers, that's the debate, Coach. Is do you keep 4 or do you keep 5?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, pass rushers, you can't get enough of them.
6'2", 245 from Stanford. Stanford turns out so many good pros these days. They really do. Obviously, we lost one on Andrew Luck, but these Zach Ertz, Christian McCaffrey, great program.
David Shaw out there, they win games. Yep. Northwestern got a big one with them this week.
That's right, they do.
Out there, they go to Stanford.
Old Pat Fitzgerald trying to win the opener. It's a pretty high-profile opener, playing against a ranked opponent. We'll be watching that. As another Titans punt. Clifton Duck's going to get a shot at. Nope, he's going to let it bounce. You want to see those guys try to get it if they can, especially a guy like Duck.
And you know what? We always told him, hey, put your heels at the 10-yard line.
Yep.
That's where he was. This is a tough decision. This is a tough decision here.
Yeah, he sees it.
It hits inside the 10. You're going to catch it there at the 8-yard line, and if you get tackled, they're going to say, why didn't you let it go? It's just a tough bounce. I would not be critical of him.
It's ironic he actually decided to duck as the ball came out there, but it just writes itself. But he has been really cool in the preseason. It's got great style, cool name, good acceleration. Jim, I know you've talked about him a lot.
Yeah, well, he makes a ton of plays, like you said, and for him, the return ability, him and James Franklin, that's really where it's at when you look, John Franklin, when you look at that battle, that's where it's at. What can you do on special teams? And Chris Tabor told us yesterday, he has to educate all these players.
Guess who? Jesper Horsted, get on the ball. Jesper Horsted, the undrafted free agent from Princeton, originally from Minnesota. Talked about earlier in the broadcast, center field on the baseball team, one of the greatest athletes in the history of Princeton University, I'm not exaggerating, has had a night. Look at the throw from Bray, too.
Good. Let's give that offensive line some credit, guys. That was good protection right there.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad you brought him up. I think Alex Bars is really doing a fine job, Coach. He's from Notre Dame. Obviously, Harry Easton knows him well. Out there at left tackle, he's played a little guard as well. Has come off a significant injury at Notre Dame, and he really has performed well, maybe performed enough to find a spot on this Bears team. They've had some injuries at the tackle spot. He's at left tackle tonight, and he's held up quite well.
How about this, letting Bray chuck it under a minute left in the second half. There's 40 seconds. We're in the shotgun. In the 2-minute offense, he's going to go downfield again. Who's he got? Oh, Horsted! He's got it! I can't believe this kid! I said the greatest athlete in the history of Princeton. No disrespect to Jason Garrett or to Dean Cain. This is the Jerry Rice of the Ivy League. He's trying to make the team. Oh, yeah!
Great hands, great concentration, great body control. Because you see, can't grab it and pluck it out of the air, but you can see the concentration fighting the defender all the way to the ground to secure the football. That is awesome concentration.
Who was the guy in the Super Bowl? Edelman. That's Edelman concentration.
Julian Edelman, you're right. I got to tell you, I've seen Horsted do this so many times against Yale, against Harvard, against Dartmouth. Nobody could guard him. He'd have 200-yard games. Just an amazing athlete. And the Bears brought him in. I actually talked to Ryan Pace about it a few months ago. He said, we're intrigued by him because he's never really had an off season. He finishes football and goes and plays baseball. He's never spent the winter or the spring in the gym. It's a fascinating project. If you look at his athleticism, put a little weight on. Obviously, he's incredibly talented what he's doing on the
Developmental
field.
guys. The athletic catch he made last week was incredible against the Colts. That one is right up there with it in terms of his body control.
And he's the perfect size and speed and athlete to be on about 4 or 5 special teams.
You're right.
I think that brings a lot of value to him.
There he is again. He missed it this time. But this is like the old NBA Jam. He's on fire. You just put up shots. Jesper Horsted putting on a show here, number 47. He wore 4 in college. He was isolated in coverage. This is ironic. The Titan covering him here, guys. Michael Jordan from Missouri Western State.
See, here's all I would say on that play, though, because it was single high safety. He can take a higher angle, and it would make it an easier throw for Tyler Bray, where maybe that defender, he could have beat him to the corner. So it's just nuances like that he's going to learn about the position of tight end.
Because that could have been intercepted very easily.
Absolutely. Bray in the gun again, 4 wide receivers. They're just trying to go up and down the field, and he's got it. That's Taquan Mizell out of bounds, stops the clock. 22 seconds remaining. This place has got juice right now. This is fun.
Good route, just breaks it out, gets to the down marker where he can move the sticks and yet stop the clock.
Could we have one more kicking opportunity coming up?
Oh, don't tease me, Dave. I love it. They don't gain another yard. So. That'd be a 48-yarder.
I think so. I can feel it.
All right. Coach Wanstead says we could get another kick. I think Bray might want 6 points, though. Let's see here. He's got Caldwell to his left in the gun. You know he's throwing it. Pressure. Complete. That's going to keep the clock going. Ian Bunting. The clock is running, and the Bears are out of timeouts.
You need about 15 to 18 seconds.
Spike it. Get on the ball. Clock it. Clock it. We're at 5 seconds.
Yeah, first down.
Okay.
I think they
flag on the field.
Defense jumped off sides. Give them 5 yards closer.
We are moments away from the Eddie Pinheiro show, Chicagoland.
False start.
No, we're not.
Number 67.
No, we're not.
Because that foul occurred with the clock running and incurs a 10-second runoff, this is the end of the first half.
I think we actually have boo birds in Soldier Field because they want to see Eddie kick. I don't blame it.
We need more.
We need more Eddie. We need more Coach Wanstead, more Jim Miller.
We need more.
Good evening, Navy Pier. Halftime show coming up. Bears looking great tonight. 12-6 Bears on the strength of a Jesper Horsted touchdown and 2 beautiful Eddie Pinheiro field goals. Guys, it's been a fun first half. It's a great atmosphere here tonight in Soldier Field. Coach, what'd you think?
Defensively, I was impressed that obviously the offense held the ball, but defensively, they've shut down the run, and that's the strength of this football team. Tennessee's been able to run the ball traditionally over the last couple of years. They took away the run. They gave up one big pass, but they didn't have to blitz to do it. And to me, that's the best thing. You see guys getting on blocks, getting off of blocks, making tackles one-on-one rather than just a big blitz-a-thon. So I was impressed.
Well, for me, Tyler Bray getting the first start of the preseason, really has done a nice job passing the football, over 200 yards. We talked in the earlier preseason games, they didn't log a lot of plays. From last week in Indianapolis, he logged a lot of plays the second half. This week, they log a lot of plays too. 259 total yards, over 21 minutes time of possession. So I think that's a good little rhythm that he's in right now.
Why don't we take a look at a few stats, the Miller Lite first half stats. The ones that jump out, I think, are the passing yards for Tyler Bray. He's on pace for a 400-yard game. They're in a very aggressive game plan here. And then, of course, the time of possession, 21 minutes for the Bears offense. It has all been them. But, guys, one of the more unique Chicago sports stories we've ever seen just refuses to stop being interesting, and that's Eddie Pinheiro. Misses an extra point and then drills 2 field goals.
You know, I thought this was going to be a relaxing night. The way this thing started, I'm up here. I got sweats and beads. The fans are getting restless. I'm saying, you got to be kidding me.
Hey, quick turnaround for the Bears till next Thursday. I think Pinheiro will be kicking here at Soldier Field next Thursday night.
He's got his confidence back. He's ready to go.
He does. I mean, he's fist pumping. He's clapping. Look at him. He's on a hop here.
I didn't like that. Was he the last guy on the field? I hope not.
What do you mean?
Don't tell me that. Okay.
Coach, he's practicing. He's trying to get better.
He's getting that leg cannon ready to kick another.
He can't find his tee. He's looking for his tee. Coach, are you kidding me?
Hey,
that would look.
he keeps kicking like this, he's going to be looking
back
for
to
some
being nervous. I'm back to being
I
nervous.
think he looks good in 15.
I'm
That's
back
all
to
gonna
being
say.
nervous.
He looks good in number 15, Coach.
I think
That's the best.
Count on him.
Tabor's just chewing the heck out of that gum.
I would be too. I'd be chewing the heck out of him.
All right, he's got his tee, and more importantly, I think he's got his team, guys.
Thank
This
goodness.
has gone on 6 months. We know all the ups and downs.
It's not over, trust me.
Well, it's certainly not Augusta silence here, as for whom the bell tolls blasts out. The bell tolls for another Pinheiro touchback. Coach Wanstead's fired up for the second half.
Walcott want a star in his helmet or something, and he forgets his kicking tee. Are you kidding me?
He's already gone prima donna. He made a couple of field goals.
Oh, please.
Well, it all goes away when you see this man kick, as he starts the second half with a high one that's going to get run out. These big hits. Big clean hit by Tolliver.
Well, you know, you hate to see him not kick it out, but on the other side, you're really looking for guys that'll cover kickoffs, because everyone's not going to be kicked out of the end zone.
Boom!
Yeah, that is solid. Good
that's
wrap up, too. Nice wrap up.
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice tackle right there. Very good. That helped him. Yeah, I like that. I like the kicks being run out. You're trying to evaluate.
Well, technically, he'd be the fourth corner.
Yep.
As it sits, and special teams are going to be crucial for him.
Another flag on the play is Logan Woodside for the Titans. Of course, we're not going to see Marcus Mariota tonight. Although, Jim, given how things have gone for the Bears lately, maybe Mariota will decide to retire in the middle of the game. Who knows? That was some broadcast you guys put on last week with the Andrew Luck retirement. You guys did an amazing job.
Illegal formation offense. The tight end was covered up. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
There he is. Hey, he's been through a lot of injuries too, just like Andrew Luck. And you're right, that was probably one of the more surreal things I've ever been a part of in last week's broadcast.
Well, with Andrew Luck retiring, that opens the door for every other team, obviously, in this division. And I think Tennessee's got a chance to make some noise.
Well, you and Adam Amin added some material to your Emmy reel, Jim. It was really, really good stuff, as we've seen from this Bears defense here. Coach, you've been wanting to see the defense all night. Here they are.
Yep, and there was a little bit of a blitz, and that's what happens when you get in man coverage. Whoever was responsible for the running back, you got to get him on the ground.
So, Coach, you told us you go back with Chucky, your guy, Chuck Pagano. Tell us what you think if you were Pagano and you were dealing with so much talent this year in the secondary and the pass rushers. How do you maximize it? What should be a goal for Chuck Pagano this year?
Better rush. I would rush Khalil Mack. I mean, I wouldn't let them. Last year, what happened? Some teams were getting in some formations where they were forcing Khalil Mack to drop into coverage. I think they've solved that. They got to keep him. He's got to be pressuring the quarterback. I mean, that's what he does best. He's so good at it. He's great at it. I think Roquan Smith, the middle linebacker, guys. Let me talk about him.
Sure.
I mean, this guy's got, and I know the Mike Singletaries and Brian Urlachers. This young kid right here now, I think he has more talent than maybe anybody.
Let's get to more Roquan in a minute here as the Titans set up 1st and 10. The guys on the field have been great tonight for the Bears defensively as the starters look on. Rush closes in. It's almost picked off. So, Coach, we've seen the greats. We're celebrating them in NFL 100. But Roquan, talent-wise, how does he fit in?
He can run with any of them. He's got as much strength as any of them. I think he's instinctive. The guy's just got to do it now a couple years, and unfortunately, he's going to be shadowed a little bit, or because of Khalil Mack is going to take the headlines. But I think the guy, boy, you talk about a great pick and everything I know, a great young man. What a player for the future.
Let me ask you this. Some guys, as you mentioned, Urlacher was a conversion player. He was a safety in college.
I remember when
he's a natural. Roquan is a natural inside backer. Just talking about having those natural instincts that Roquan has.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that I was talking about earlier. He can cover a tight end or a back out of the backfield. You know what I mean? So he's not one of those linebackers that you're scared to death if the team throws it or spreads you out, that now he's not going to be able to make plays.
And some guys as inside backers, they really don't know how to blitz. He's a natural blitzer as well. He had a blitz or a sack earlier in the preseason. Well, think of his first game as a Bear against Green Bay. That was a blitz.
Last year.
And some guys just have a knack of swing move, getting skinny in the in the gap where he can just really have a natural ability to
I
get to the quarterback.
hate to repeat myself, but get those guys like him to do things you don't have to coach.
That's right. You know, there's a feeling with Roquan, too, as you go back a year from now, he missed all of camp. He was not there.
Good point.
So he goes into that first game against Aaron Rodgers and making plays all over the field. There's every reason to think now, with a full offseason, with a full training camp, he should be significantly better, even as he was last year.
Absolutely.
He's talked about it with him and Danny Trevathan, just the communication between themselves. They help each other out so much. And he comes with a great pedigree in college, but Danny Trevathan, I think, has been very underrated with what he's done in his NFL career as a linebacker as well.
Yep. No, they've got as good a group of linebackers as anybody in National Football.
This could be the best four in the league.
I agree. Yeah, Ryan Pace, give him some credit. I don't know if I haven't talked about him enough, but wow, so impressive. And not just with the first round picks, but when you start getting guys that can make your team like Jackson and Montgomery in those third and fourth rounds, that separates personnel people.
There's something with Roquan, too, something intangible. He just feels like a bear. He's got the hitting, he's got the juice, he's wearing that old Wilbur Marshall number 58.
Yep.
I remember as a Bears fan, the second they held up that jersey, I said, this guy's going to be a player. And his college highlights were so fierce and aggressive, and you've seen that the second he showed up here, as we have another stoppage in play.
You know, when you have this much talent, and I was fortunate, you know, we were pretty good at the Dolphins, and, you know.
Number 88, 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And at the University of Miami, you know, I think we had 5 or 6 first-round picks on that defense. And that was the biggest challenge, and I said it earlier about not getting bored, but it's a real, you know, as a coach, you want to add some things, you know what I mean, Jimmy? Yeah. You're always kind of wanting to grab the chalk last, and sometimes you just got to back away and let the players play and let them play fast.
I think the key is, too, for Leonard Floyd to come back. He's healthy through this preseason, got hurt early last year against Denver. I think it's for him to take another big step. He's got a quick twitch on the outside, 15.5 career sacks. He's so long, Coach. He's almost got arms like, you know, a praying mantis, just the long limbs on him and what he can do. But to get off by him, if he emerges where I think he will this year and leaps off the page, look out. That is a great front four for the Bears at linebacker.
Even when people were disappointed in him early, I just loved this kid's effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was something there that you could definitely work with, and now
Meanwhile, the Titans have been moving downfield on the strength of a few big plays. Let's see if we can have some bend, don't break as they run it here. Move a few yards here down the field, but let's get more into Floyd, Jim. I know you've been looking at him.
He's so long and lean when he came out. You know, he's one of those guys with a high metabolism. I think it was important for him to hit the weight room a little bit more, get stronger. Unfortunately for him, he's had some knee injuries. It's been a shoulder, it's been an elbow. He's gotten banged up. And he really, and even Vic Fangio touched on it last year, he really hasn't been on the field consistently enough to really grow as a player. I think that truly happened this offseason, and I expect a big leap, a big jump from Leonard Floyd.
And obviously, just like last year, you know, the way Akeem Hicks played, and you got Khalil Mack, I mean, he's going to get a lot of one-on-one opportunities. He's going to get chances where he's alone against the tackle, and he's going to be able to beat him.
Look at last year out in Denver. Von Miller's on one side. They drafted Bradley Chubb. He had 14.5 sacks. That, I think, is going to be the case here in Chicago.
I agree.
All the protection will slide to Mack. Leonard is going to have some great opportunities to really get to the quarterback and really reach his potential as a player with that quick get-off.
Yeah.
He has the kind of thing going Leonard does where he's sort of the Scottie Pippen of the defense, the number 2, because everybody's looking at Mack, who's Jordan, which would make Pagano the Zen master, I guess. But we got a 3rd and 2 here. Let's see if this Bears D. Going to the end zone. Woodside incomplete, not close.
They'll go for this here, I would expect. No, they're kicking the field goal, huh?
Good coverage again.
Yep, good pressure there, forced the overthrow, you know, again with no blitz, so that's an encouraging thing to me. Got a little twist inside right there, little TT twist. That means tackle, Jim. You know, okay.
TT twist.
You the quarterbacks, you never cared about that.
Abdullah Anderson, I mean, anytime I've seen a fanny that wide, you put a saddle on it, Dave. You know, he can get after it.
Oh, my goodness. I love it.
32-yard kick here. This is Ryan Suckup, the veteran, and he nails it.
Yeah, so, well, he bounced back. He missed an extra point early.
Makes it 12-9. Bears offense back on the field, having a blast with Jim and Coach.
Preseason football is brought to you by Gatorade, Miller Lite, Hyundai, and United Airlines.
The Bears welcome the Kenwood Academy High School Broncos from Hyde Park at Hallis Hall on Tuesday. Broncos coming off an 8-2 season in 2018. Got to get up close and personal to that glistening new facility at Hallis Hall in Lake Forest. In a moment, we are going to talk to one of these great Bears linebackers, Danny Trevathan, about this group, this defense, how excited he is for next Thursday night. Trevathan, a Super Bowl champ, of course, one of the great players on this defense. Always a great personality, too. We love Danny. Meanwhile, the Titans kick off as they get it to within a field goal. And this is going to go for a touchback out to the 25. But we mentioned it. Let's go to him right now. Danny, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good, man. Just enjoy the young guys, get some good work out here and put some good stuff on film, man.
They always do. Danny, it has been a long off season. It's been a long preseason. It is 1 week away from the real game. How excited are you to get on the field and start running around?
Oh, man, it's been a long time coming, man. He always talk about, don't peak too soon, man, but we just so anxious right now to play. They're doing a good job of helping us get ready for that game. It's a lot of stuff going on around here, but we know that come week one, we got to be ready. We're going to have a great opponent in the Green Bay Packers, and we just know we're going to put our best foot forward and go ahead and make it a great one for us.
Danny, Jim Miller here. You've been a young linebacker on a great defense in Denver, and then here you come to the Bears. You've been just steadfast in everything you've done, but bringing along a young guy like Roquan Smith, helping mentoring a young player, because it just seems like you two have such a great camaraderie about you, and you truly can be great on the inside with the both of you.
Oh, most definitely. He came in with the right mindset, worked his tail off, first-round draft pick. A lot of those guys, they have high cockiness about them, but he came in humble, hungry, and he fit this defense, man. Me and him together, man, and there's no limit what we can do. We can be the two best ever to do this. And I just tell him each day, let's get the most out of this, push one another. If I don't make the play, you make the play, man. That's how we rock it.
Hey, Danny, Coach Wanstead here. I personally think you might be the most underrated player, not getting enough credit of anybody on this Bears great defense. How have you handled that? How have you handled your ego and your pride? When Khalil Mack is getting all the accolades and then Roquan Smith. How do you deal with that?
That means a lot coming from you, first of all.
Well, thank you.
I'm just a humble guy. I'll put my head down and go to work. I believe great people not rewarded enough on this earth. So, I can only control what I can control. And I love this game of football. I know what I bring to the table. I know I'm one of the best out there. And I know we work well as a defense. So it's going to be a lot of people getting a lot of, rewards and stuff. And, I know that I'm with those guys. So they work their tail out. I want them to have that. I want us to win the Super Bowl. I want us to be in the Pro Bowl. I want us to be that type of defense. So that's just the type of person that I put my head down, go to work, and I knock anything out that come in front of me and play ball.
Well, I know you're going to work because it's a quick turnaround to next Thursday.
Yes,
There's a new play caller up there without giving too much away. How do you prepare what could be a different offense by the Green Bay Packers?
Oh, we prepare for anything. It's a copycat league. A lot of guys are coming back to stuff. We know that we got enough film. Sure, it's going to be some stuff we don't see, but we got to be pros. We know how to handle that stuff. We want our defense to be the best, so there's nothing that they can do that we haven't solved. Sure, we have mid adjustments like everybody do. It's just a game of football. You got to enjoy it, go through the motions, and come out with a dub at the end. That's how we feel. We want to hit club dub every week.
Club dub every week. Danny, you are a true pro, one of the great personalities on this team. We love you, man. Go get him next week, all right?
Appreciate it, man. It's been an honor and a privilege, man. Appreciate it.
That's a 6th-round pick right there.
Yeah.
Who's had an incredible career because you see his attitude and his talent. You love him, Jim.
I'm telling you what, man. He comes from a good defense in Denver, and he's lived up to every bit of it here as a Chicago Bear. Very big hitter for an undersized linebacker. This dude will pack a wallop, and great in coverage with his versatility.
Meanwhile, Bray tried to hit Ives again. That'll set up a 3rd and 5. It looked like Bray took a big hit. Gets up, he's tough as nails.
Yeah, he got drilled after he lived it. Little chilly 17 roll trying to come back to the over route. It might have been a little late, Coach. Lewis hit him. That's 2 steps, isn't it?
No, that's not
Come
late.
on, Coach.
Boy, you're never going to get me to say that. Come on. But
Two steps. You can only have one step to the quarterback.
It's a 5-man press. It's blitz, obviously. It's man coverage, 5-man pressure.
He took 3 steps, Coach.
Do you see a flag anywhere? Show me the flag. Where's the flag?
I know the rules. You got to protect.
Where's the flag?
Investment.
I don't see a flag.
Coach on fire. Bray dusts himself off and converts. Tyler Tyler Bray's playing a hell of a game. That's Joe Walker who goes out of bounds. Move those chains, marching down the field.
Nice throw again by Tyler Bray. Again, he's been in a good rhythm this entire game, getting the start. Double clutches it, but finds the open guy in Joe Walker. And Joe's made a couple of nice receptions tonight. Good route, comes flat out of the outcut, tucks it. Be careful of the foot on the side. It looks like he slipped a little bit, going out of bounds.
Pressure. The good news is the pressure of the hit didn't affect him. Coaches love to see that. Showing some toughness here. There's our guy.
And all up the middle. He's yet to break that big one, Jimmy.
He's
got it in him.
And I'll tell you what, when he gets to the outside, you know what's impressed me about him too is stiff arms.
Yep.
A lot of guys mistime their stiff arms. He always has a knack of just timing it just right where he can get it to turn the corner. Good power run inside.
There's a Colts safety who ate one of those stiff arms last week. As we look at one of the darlings of these young players, David Montgomery, the rookie out of Iowa State. Fans are excited about that guy, and if you've done a fantasy draft the last couple of weeks, you know you've seen him come up pretty early in this thing. Meanwhile, 2nd and 4. We'll talk more about the running backs in a moment here. That's Josh Caldwell.
There you go. That's a nice job by that offensive line right there, you know, just moving the whole pile.
So, you got Mike Davis, you got Tariq Cohen, you got this David Montgomery, and hopefully you have the starting line who blocks like they did on this play. Jimmy, get into this offense. What are they doing with these 3 running backs? Can you figure it out?
Yeah, I think, well, they're all going to be called in certain. I think, one, you have multiple guys that can do a lot of similar things to one to preserve where they're not always carrying the load. I think one of the things Coach Nagy was worried about late in the year, Tariq Cohen's carries, how much he was working. He thought, and he even made a statement, that he thought he overloaded him towards the end of the year. That's why you go out, you add a guy like Mike Davis, who's a power runner. Ran for 514 yards last year for Seattle. He's gotten his feet wet, but that was his best year in the NFL, and he's very unselfish. I think that was a big part of it too, because when Matt Nagy interviewed him, he said, "Coach, I don't have to be the bell cow guy." You know, and I think you need a certain guy because he wants to get the ball in everybody's hands to take advantage of their talents. Then you draft David Montgomery, his ability to make guys miss and his creativity in space. And then you've got some other guys that are really intriguing, like Cordero Patterson, who at times can be used as a running back as well.
All right, let's get into it as we tackle for a loss. Cordero Patterson is certainly one of the most intriguing players on this entire roster. We've seen what he did in Minnesota. He wins the Super Bowl with New England. Has a kick return on this very field last year for a touchdown. There's an enigma with him, isn't there? What do you think?
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons, again, why he chose her. He believes that Matt Nagy truly knows how to utilize his skill set. He's been a little bit at running back. He's been an all-pro returner, as you mentioned, twice. You go back to 2016 and 2013, what he was able to do. And still, he can get better as a receiver. And he's bigger than what he was coming out of college, so he's a tremendous blocker as well. He, to me, is the chess piece. He is a unique athlete that you can do a lot of things with, and it's going to be pretty exciting how creative Coach Nagy's going to be once the season begins.
He's the chess piece.
Yeah, you know what? And I asked Mark Helfrich about that because we haven't really seen him. And Mark Helfrich, I didn't even get the question out of my mouth, and he says, "We love him."
Fans love him already, too. And tonight, they're loving this guy.
Yeah, as long as he makes the kick, they love him. Come on.
What do you think, Dave? You like this one? We're going 34 yards on the left hash.
I do. He's money. Inside the 40, he's money right now. He's feeling good.
Matt O'Donnell on the hold. Snap down. Woo! Little English on that one. I think that was style points. He wanted it was like a draw on his 9-iron. Let's take another look at this beauty. Coach Wanstead, take it away.
Yeah, good. The snap was a little wide, but the holder got it down. Good timing on it, no pressure.
Love it.
3 points.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer of your Chicago Bears.
It's been a great night here at Soldier Field. We're scoring touchdowns, kicking field goals, sacking quarterbacks. Coach Wanstead's fired up. How you feeling, Dave?
You know what? I'm enjoying the heck out of this. You guys have been great, and I love watching these players down there competing and little controversy.
A little bit. Pinheiro getting this This one's going to go for a touchback. So we're celebrating the 100th year of Bears football. And in honor of that, let's take a look at Joe Stidehar. Joe Stidehar, known affectionately as Jumbo Joe, played tackle for the Bears for 9 seasons. Looks sort of like Jim Miller. I mean, Jim, I think he's a little more handsome than you, but you'd be the judge of that.
I'll tell you what, he's got a pretty smile. I agree.
Fantastic smile. That's a man who won 3 NFL championships, not Super Bowls, with Chicago as a player, and one as a head coach of the Rams. That's a Bear right there. Jumbo Joe Stidehar, number 6 overall pick, way back in the day. That's why we do it, guys.
5-time Pro, Hall of Famer as well. What a great player.
There we go. That's some defense right there. That's our guy, Joel Iyebuniwe. Did I get it, Jim?
Iyebuniwe, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that was a play where you're going to blitz our guy, we're going to blitz your guy.
Hey, had the touchdown return, or had the fumble return for a touchdown last week. He's made some plays. Really good job shooting the gap right there.
Oh, yeah.
Wraps and tackles. He's fired up.
Coach Wanstead, being here in this stadium, seeing a tackle for a loss like that, feeling the buzz. Are you getting the itch? Do you want to get back and does it make you miss it?
You know what? It's awful exciting. You know, it really is. It's a great honor to be here. First of all, I appreciate the opportunity, and yeah, you know what? It's good this time of year. I don't know. In February when I'm in Naples, that's when you got to look at the other side of it, Jimmy. You know what I mean? Come on, guys, don't mess around.
What are we doing,
Pay attention.
Tariq? What are we
Pay
doing?
attention. Pay attention, guys.
Eyes up here. Always something with Tariq. That's why we love him.
Hey, he's a guy that makes you get out of your chair. You know what I mean? Every time he touches the ball.
3rd and 3. That pass is incomplete.
The defense. Well, like you said, with Tariq and you factor in Cordarrelle Patterson and just all the weapons they have, I think Coach Nagy's going to do a lot of, hey, look over here, and then all of a sudden somebody's getting the ball over here. He's got those type of players that truly are explosive at all areas of the specialty players in the backfield.
You know, that's a good point. You know, when you look at those, we talked about the first half stats. Think about this now. The Bears held the ball for over 20 minutes, and they really weren't throwing the ball down the field. And back in the day, the 49ers with Joe Montana used to do that, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I mean, they were a ball control team by those high percentage throws, you know?
Motion shifts, a lot of window dressing, and again, I think it just caused hesitation in the defense where it allows you to get some big plays, run after the catch, and it is simple stuff. There's no doubt.
And the best friend of a defense is a good offense to hold the ball.
Titans playing duck hunts. We're playing 4th preseason game. Why don't we take a look at the Bears' rushing attack tonight, courtesy of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Jumps out Ryan Nall in a game he's trying to make a roster spot. Has a nice performance, plays well, but Josh Caldwell also 11 carries, 42 yards. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, pretty similar in terms of the stats from that point of view, but you look at Caldwell, somewhat familiar with the system. He has stepped in and done a nice job early, but I think Nall has really done quite a bit to impress here this preseason. Kareth White hasn't been in there all that much, so he's battling right now when you look at Ryan Nall, the stick.
And you know what? As a head coach, the first position that I would fill on my practice squad was a running back. You know, because I was convinced that if we had a running back going against our first defense that would give phenomenal effort, you know, and run up in there and be a tough guy, it was going to make our defense better. So that's a critical position, I think.
6'2", 230, Ryan Nall. I wouldn't want to tackle him in practice. You know what I mean?
No.
I'd rather tackle the fast guy. There he is. He's been great this preseason.
Do a lot of things.
Bray's still out there. Now Josh Caldwell next to him in the shotgun. That's Jesper Horsted, who's gone ballistic tonight in motion. 2nd and 7. Bray's been great, tracking me some huge stats, and he hits another one. But I said Jesper Horsted once ballistic. Jim, let's take a look at him.
Well, you look at him, I've been shocked. Like you said, he's a great athlete. Look at the ability to adjust on the football. Back shoulder fade right there. Now catch and run attempt, but he gets down the field. Now watch the body control. Double clutches the football, still able to concentrate and come down with it. You're making me a believer, Cal.
I'm telling you.
The Princeton product.
That's right.
He hung 246 yards on Harvard, right in their face in the rivalry game. Jason Garrett, Dean Cain, Bill Bradley, great Princeton athletes. Jesper Horsted's dunking on all of them tonight,
Hey,
number 47.
When you're crushing Superman, you're doing something.
That's what I'm saying. You're right. It's a kryptonite of sorts.
Oh,
We got a penalty on the field.
Floodgates opened up on that one.
Yeah, that was ugly. This Bears team, though, has been very physical tonight on both sides of the ball. After we get a call, I want to take a look. If you're just tuning in now, they've been running around.
Offense. Number 64. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
That brings a 4th down. Bears look to punt.
That was Alex Bars. I brought him up earlier in the program. And
We'll get to Alex Bars, but like I mentioned, guys, they're flying around. There is pace tonight. There is tempo. The pads are popping out there. Woo! Close your eyes. This could be week 1 against Green Bay right now. Look at the sideline. We love you, I love this show. The Chicago Bears Network presents Inside the Bears. It's brought to you by Verizon every weekend on Fox 32 Chicago and the CW50. Hosted by Anthony Spice Adams and the great Lauren Screeden. Inside the Bears is the most entertaining way to keep up with the Bears all year long. Those guys do a great job. I love that show. And the Bears fans are having fun tonight.
Spice can entertain you, can he?
I think he's a genius. He is. He really is. He's fantastic. Donald back to punt. The most physically impressive punter on the face of the earth. You ever see this guy throw the bench press around? Shows up to the Bears Care Gala with a white tuxedo. He's amazing. Love Matt O'Donnell. Another big hit from this Bears team.
Nice tackle. You know, that's impressive.
Credit to Jonathan Mincy there with the big hit. We got 1 quarter left to play. Look at that skyline. A beautiful night in the best city in the world.
I may walk home tonight. You know,
gonna walk home,
I'm going to walk home. Forget the cab.
Trying to treat this like a radio show, and you're the callers via Verizon and the hashtag QB Connection. Here's a question from Allison Nicole. What do you think of the O-line? Who do the Bears keep?
I think they're going to keep 8 guys. Obviously, the starting 5. Charles Leno, left tackle. Cody Whitehair, now the left guard. James Daniels, Kyle Long at right tackle. Bobby Massey. Hey, with the injury to T.J. Clemmings, that shifts gears in terms of the swing tackle, because now that looks like it could be Alex Bars, and you also have Rashad Coward, but he's dealing with the elbow issue from the previous preseason game. And then I would think Ted Larson, the veteran, he's been here before as a Bear. He's a big, tough guy as the interior swing offensive lineman. 8 guys.
Interesting to know, too, Cody Whitehair, the starting left guard this year, is expecting his first child any day now. I spoke to him before the game. There he is, 65, made the Pro Bowl last year. The pride of Abilene, Kansas. He said it could be tonight, it could be in a week. He says he is ready. He and his wife have taken the classes. They've bought all the baby wipes and the changers and the double changers. He is ready.
See, I love that. You see that right there?
Yeah.
They're talking technique on the sideline.
Sim and James Daniels.
Nobody playing games. I love that.
So, guys, 1 week from tonight, it's on. We can talk Bears, Titans all day long if we want. But in 7 days, Aaron Rodgers will come into Soldier Field and attempt to beat them on their home field. This is a different Aaron Rodgers, guys. He has a brand new coach. He has not played a down in the preseason. What challenge is he bringing in next Thursday night?
Yeah, he's got a quick release. We know he can make great decisions. Doesn't get picked off very much, and is a pinpoint accurate passer with what he brings. And he's coming off a season, you're right, he's got a lot to answer. He missed 9 games last year. So he got beat up in week 1 against the Chicago Bears. And as we talked to Danny Trevathan earlier, they will have some wrinkles in their offense. With Coach LaFleur taking over in Green Bay, I think they're going to be a more run-based emphasis, as Coach Wannstedt talked about, because that's where he comes, under Sean McVay.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about that, Jimmy, I think that losing Randall Cobb is going to come up here.
Yep.
I think that hurts him. I really do. I think that he was a security blanket for him. And you mentioned, Clay Matthews. I mean, there's some leaders there that have been gone, you know, and I don't know who's going to step up on them. I mean, you know, you mentioned running the ball. Their offensive coordinator, Hackett, he came from Jacksonville, where Doug Marrone was a heavy run guy. But I don't know if that's Aaron Rodgers is happy with that. I just don't have a good feeling for it. I'm not so sure that
Well, that's the challenge for the head coach and Matt LaFleur. Supposedly, Aaron had really audibled about 40% of the plays, which I think they felt was too high. They want to try and set up more run, play, action passes, much like the Rams run. And will they be dedicated to it, and will they stick to it? Plus, you mentioned they lose one of their pass rushers, Clay Matthews.
And a good leader,
And they bring in the Smith brothers the second year under defensive coordinator Mike Pettin.
Well, the Packers are hoping that Matt LaFleur is their Matt Nagy.
Yes.
I mean, this is a first-time head coach. This is a guy who did not play his star quarterback a single down in the preseason. I think for the first time, Aaron Rodgers has a sense of mystery about him. We always have known what we're getting from Rodgers.
Right.
This time we just don't know, and I got to tell you, it's a little eerie.
Well,
we don't know.
I think the mystery for me it's all, when people talk about his playing, the mystery for me is where's his mind at.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Has he bought in? And if he's not buying in, I mean, that's you got no chance.
Well, here's hoping he buys into Khalil Mack a few times next Thursday night.
He will.
You know, with Jim, last year, a year ago, we were talking about Bears-Packers. We didn't know this was happening. Khalil Mack's first career game, rather this is the home game at the end of the season, and he just went ballistic. He put on a show.
That's how you introduce yourself. Say, hello, I'm Khalil Mack. I know I was out there in the AFC West just hanging out. Well, now I'm here in the NFC North. So get to know me very well. I'll be ringing your doorbell quite a bit.
He sacked him with his back.
Yeah.
I mean, he sacked him with his back. Only Khalil could do that. Looked like it might have been picked off by Tolliver, but they're going to say incomplete.
Yeah, I think he did get possession, but I think he rolled out of bounds as he folded in.
Yeah, it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah.
You know, we go back a year ago. I remember Jim, you and I discussing the broadcast. The Bears had an Aaron Rodgers problem. They couldn't beat him. Year after year, he would come in here and win. You go get Mack. You knock Rodgers out of the game, and I think most importantly, the air of invincibility about Rodgers left when he came in here last year and lost.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, he got beat up, and it was the Bears doing the bullying, so to speak.
And you know the other thing, too, guys, they got a new staff up there. Matt Nagy and his staff, and his players, they've proven that they understand the rivalry, you know? I mean, there's something to that, the emotional edge of you're playing the Packers. I remember my first year here at the Bears.
Yep.
I kept Keith Van Horn and Steve McMichael and Richard Dent, Kevin Butler. I had those guys, really talk about the rivalry and the importance of this game to the players, and I think that definitely makes a huge difference.
3rd and goal now. The Bears trying to keep the Titans out of the end zone. The Titans looking to potentially take the lead. Woodside throws incomplete. It's going to be 4th and goal. That's interesting, Coach. When you were here, did Packer Week feel different for both of you guys? Did it?
It did, because when you talk rivalry, even though the players might be new and the coaches might be new, it's not new for the fans. And the fans and the media. I mean, they build this thing up, and it turns it into a big game. My only problem was Brett Favre, I mean, if Brett Favre would have retired at 29, I might still be coaching.
It was interesting. I got a really good story to tell you about when I arrived at the Steelers. Cleveland obviously was always a big rivalry, but they had uprooted and gone to Baltimore. And I'll get to it and talk about the rivalry and what it meant to me coming here to Chicago.
So many stories to come as Suckup's field goal is good. The Titans within 3. Stories, Bears-Packers on the other side.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Advocate Healthcare, Verizon, PNC, and your local Ford stores.
There he is, 51, one of the baddest men to ever live, and the star of my 2 dads, Dick Butkus, 65-73. This week there was a photo shoot at Hallis Hall where they were recreating some of the Dick Butkus images with Bears players. Really cool, looking forward to that. Look at that gentleman wearing his number 51. Well done, sir. Guys, we have a game here. It is 15-12. I don't know if it's going to come down to an Eddie Pinheiro game-winning field goal, but I would love it.
That was my thought. Here we come.
Here we go. And we got a return here by John Franklin, who's going to run this one out, bounce out to the outside, and get out of bounds. Another flag on the play. Wanstead, you must hate these flags.
I do. Somebody grab somebody and drag them down to the ground. Here we go.
This one might have been a late hit at the end of the play.
Really?
These refs take it over. Yeah, we'll see. Those sharp NFL 100 hats on the referees all around the league this year. A lot of officiating talk going on, my friends. Buckle up. We have not seen the pass interference reviews tonight, but Jim, I know you've had some earlier in the preseason.
Yeah, we have, and the coaches are testing the officials. Hey, they need to get the mechanics of how it's going to shake out, how they're going to call it, see if they can get the consistency that they need.
Yeah, I think that could be a mess. You know, that whole call. I mean,
what do you think, Dave?
Wait, let me see. Here's holding.
Yeah, he dragged.
It's always holding. You know, he got to stay on your feet, keep your hands inside, keep your feet moving. Don't look back. Let the back ball carrier cut off of you. How many times do I got to say it, you know?
It needs to be crocheted on a pillow. It's always holding. In the
my
house.
Goodness. My goodness.
So, Dave, there's a lot we want to hear from you. We want to hear about the idea that Matt Nagy may be in something that you refer to as a coaching window. I'm not sure I've heard that phrase before.
You know, you want to win every game, okay? Sometimes you win too fast. I mean, I did that at the Dolphins, you know, win the division, same crap early. Here at the Bears, though, I think
There were 2 fouls on the play during the kick, holding against the receiving team, number 47. During the return, personal foul, late hit out of bounds against the kicking team, number 39. By rule, those penalties will offset.
All right.
We will replay the kickoff.
Okay, what I was going to say, let's talk Bears, okay? We go the second round of the playoffs, my second year. We go 9-7, my third year. The fourth year was really my window. Every coach has a window when they got to hit it big, in my opinion. It might be 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6. I don't know what the years are. But mine, I kind of felt like it was that fourth year, and we beat the Cowboys here on Monday Night Football, if you remember.
Yeah.
And it was like a week later that 2 weeks later, Eric Kramer breaks his neck, and he's out for the year. And we had let Steve Walsh go, so Dave Craig comes in. We go 7-9, and my window closed. I mean, you know, that's how it happens with coaches. So, you got to hit it big within that time frame, in my opinion. Or people are going to get restless.
It's interesting perspective. You think you hear about quarterbacks window. You don't really hear coaches.
No, you do.
Well,
Yep.
Look at the window in Minnesota. They feel they got a championship team, and why they went out and paid $84 million guaranteed to Kirk Cousins to put them over the hump. And look at all the other teams have spent the big money on the quarterbacks here. The Bears are almost using the Seattle Seahawks model. You got a young quarterback,
right,
who can.
This one is going to be run out. That's John Franklin. Bounces it to the outside, gets tackled. Well, it's the NFL 100. It's the 100th year of Bears football. It's about good memories. And it doesn't get much better than this, Dave Wanstead. Take us back to the last Bears road playoff win.
Oh, yeah, up in Minnesota, division champs. Barry Minner interception. Kevin Minifield blocked a punt and scored it. Raymond Harris is running through people to the ultra back. And Vincent Smith dumped a Kohler on my head. Mike Shula. There's Mike Shula, my tight end coach. Offensive coordinator of the Giants. What else you want to know?
That city was rocking after that win.
It was a great one.
I had a Raymond Harris jersey. I was a big Raymond guy. I loved him.
Yes.
I loved him. Coach, it's interesting being the Bears coach as we look at Matt Nagy. He's never been a coach anywhere else. You have also coached in Miami. You've coached big-time college football as we see a great run by Josh Caldwell. What is the difference between the head coach of the Bears in this city and maybe another market?
Oh, this is a football town. I mean, you know, that's the only way to describe it. I mean, I won't talk about a few other places that I've been and coached, you know, where it's a night of entertainment for the fans. Chicago, Bears, this is football. And there's no substitute for that. These fans are serious and they're into it, and you got to love it.
Is there more pressure on the head coach here than in another market?
No, I wouldn't say that, but when it's good, it doesn't get any better. When it gets rough, it can get rough.
Listen, you were the head coach in the heart of the Michael Jordan era when they're hanging banners every year, yet you guys go to Minnesota and win, and it's a Bears town.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was the McCaskey family have been outstanding to me, and we had time to get it turned around, and we didn't. You know, I mean, it's you press on, but it's a Bears town, and I love what Virginia McCaskey and George and everybody has done with their commitment with facilities and players. And they're reaping the benefits of it now. The fans truly appreciate it.
Jim, you and I have talked about this before. My favorite Bears team ever is the 01 team. I love 85, of course, but that 01 team that you were the quarterback for, when you guys were rocking and rolling, going 13-3, what was it like to be a quarterback in this town?
Yeah, I mean, it's tremendous, as Coach said. I mean, I remember driving in, and again, Dave was my head coach at that time, and everything on the airwaves was all Chicago Bears. And I've said this before, anywhere you drive, it's in your face. Everybody's got their Bear hat on. You got the bumper sticker when you're driving down the highway. So it's always keeping your mind on football because the fans are so into it, and they love it. And they've had great tradition and history here, and it kind of relates to what I was talking about earlier. It kind of reminds me of when I was with the Steelers, just what it means to have that tradition and history. And I didn't feel that till I arrived here in Chicago. It's like, yeah, this team gets it. This team gets it, what it's all about.
When you go to Mass on Sunday and they're wearing their Bears jerseys, that kind of sums it up. You know, it doesn't get that's serious football.
They're wearing the jerseys to Mass. It truly is a religious experience here at Soldier Field. This beautiful cathedral on the lake where we will see the 100th season next week. There they are. 52, 54. I don't know if that's a Peanut Tillman on the right.
That's Peanut Tillman jersey, absolutely.
Love Peanut for sure. We're going to have Donald punt here. And meanwhile, 8 minutes left to go. The game still hangs in the balance. I just got this feeling, guys, there's going to be last-minute fireworks. I got a feeling.
Field goal?
I think it might be. Is there anything more fitting the way to end the preseason than a Pinheiro game winner? Meanwhile, Poppy White, great name, takes the punt, turns upfield, and we will see the Bears defense trying to keep the Titans from tying this thing. We got religion, we got defense, we got Wanstead, all on Chicago. What a great night.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Advocate Healthcare, the official healthcare provider of the Chicago Bears.
I think it's time to take a look at the Bears quarterbacks tonight, brought to you by United Airlines. It's the Brainiac, the Braymaker. 22 completions, 252 yards. I love that. 0 interceptions. Tyler Bray has hung in there, chucked this thing around, and been gutty tonight.
Pretty good night. He has sat in the pocket when they were putting some pressure on him as well. Made the accurate throws. Had some nice acrobatic catches as well with Horsted and everybody in there. But he's gotten to a rhythm. That's carried over from Indianapolis, having a big night tonight.
9 different receivers Bray hits.
Wow.
You talked about it, Coach. You're trying to get guys trying to make the team. You got to hit them.
Yep, absolutely. Giving everybody an opportunity.
It's a good run by Dalen Dawkins here as the game does hang in the balance. Titans looking to tie it or take the lead with this. It's almost interesting if they were to take the lead on this, let's say go up, I don't know, 18-15, that would set up the game tying, but tell me about this, Coach. If we had a scenario where Eddie Pinheiro could kick a game-winning field goal or game tying, they don't want to go to overtime here, right, in the preseason? Is that understood?
Absolutely not. No, both teams are anxious to move on. They would not kick a field goal by any means.
There we go.
Collapse the pocket there.
Woodside goes down. Another sack for that Bears defense.
Jalen Dalton, everybody was involved in on that play.
Darrell Banfield
really good push in the interior. Dalton able to clean it up from the outside.
The name is Dalton. Sack for the Bears. Back on the ball, 2nd and long here. So understood, no overtime tonight, Coach. That is the unwritten rule of the preseason?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just loving it, and so are the Bears fans. There's thousands and thousands of people here tonight. If you think no one's interested in the last preseason game, you're wrong, and I think it's a byproduct of this whole season and this whole town ready to erupt next week when the Packers come in.
Oh, it's already started. I mean, I'm gonna be part of a pregame show.
What do you got?
A little bit of NBC Sports is doing something down at Grant Park. I think they're going to be down there all day.
Coach, talk about the schedule, because really Sunday becomes a Wednesday, how it's normally set up. That will be the install. Monday would be a normal Thursday. Tuesday would basically be a Friday. And then you're basically on the walkthrough and a snack on Wednesday and being ready to go.
Absolutely, yeah. And you like to get probably about 10 days of preparation for your opener. That's kind of the rule of thumb. So you can see why they started with Green Bay work last week. I mean, they needed to, and I'm sure the Packers started on this side also.
Holding offense. Number 68, That penalty is declined. 4th down.
You know, the thing you got to make sure, I always thought anyway, is you want to do the physical work early and build the mental part. You want to keep, you don't want your players to get flat mentally and get bored mentally because you go so long getting ready for an opponent. You know, so I think it's critical that you don't want to just put new stuff in to put it in, but you kind of set that thing up so that the end of the week, there's something new going in every day that keeps their interest.
Duck's going to attempt to field this one, bobbles it, and walks out of bounds. 5 minutes, 48 seconds left in a tight game. We got more to talk about on the backside with Coach and Jim. There he is, 89, incredible coach. Now we got Jim McMahon, Dick on the sideline in the heyday next to Jim Harbaugh. They're carrying him off the field. They also carried Buddy Ryan off the field down there in New Orleans. The Fridge, Mongo, Willie Gault. We got a couple of old school Dicka jerseys there from a couple of different generations. This Bears 100 season thing is for real, guys.
You know, Mike is fantastic. I saw him about a month and a half ago down at Naples out at his golf club, and we had a nice talk, and he's doing well. And boy, you talk about the word legend. There's a legend.
He really is. I mean, as a kid, I loved him. As an adult, I appreciate him differently. We're starting to get some rain here. It's coming down. It's all coming together. This has been one of the most intriguing preseasons ever. Jim, I know why you're laughing. Explain to the people what's so funny.
Well, this is your resident Cleo moment. You've been claiming that Panero is going to be set up for a field goal here, but let's see what this Bears offense can do. Hey, here's what I like, though. Everybody's still engaged on the sideline. You see the coaches still coaching the players, and these guys are still fighting here. A lot of time left to go here. Only 15-12 for the score.
You know, this isn't bad to give some of these young guys handling this football when it's a little bit wet down there. It's all good. They may not throw a pass, though. They may try to run this clock out. And see, they know on the other side that Tennessee is going to have to score a touchdown to win this. They're not going to go for a tie. So you can be a little more conservative, I think, on offense.
Yeah, a little grind it out.
Yes, grind it out and punt the ball, play defense.
These next 4 minutes are pretty fascinating, too, if you're deep into football. It's the last time some of these guys are going to play. It's the last time some of these guys are going to play in their lives in these last few minutes, running around, trying to make a play, because it all could end. And we respect it. 3rd and 4. Bray in the gun. He's gone the whole way. He's looked great. The rush closes in. Woo, it's almost picked off. That brings up a 4th and 4. Then the Bears are going to punt. Bray takes a big hit, wincing getting up. He has been tough tonight.
Yeah, good pressure on him. He feels it, gets rid of it just in time. That's really the curl route that Ives caught earlier in the game. Trying to get it, snuck it through there, had an opportunity to make a play, but coverage was definitely there.
And just a 4-man rush, Jimmy, too, you know?
Yep. Little tip on the ball. Otherwise, I think Ives would have hauled that in.
So Bray goes down awkwardly, but walking it off. Certainly we hope he can finish the game.
Well, you got to be ready to be Aaron Rodgers tomorrow morning. So that's what I'd be worried about.
So Poppy White is back. My guy, Donald punt. He's going to get a shot at it. See if there's, please, no penalties. Coach, we did it. All right, so Packers next week. But why don't we take a little glance down the road, how it's going to line up for the defending NFC North champs. Packers come in, we know that, the world will be watching. Then 2 on the road, Broncos against their old buddy Vic Fangio and a Joe Flacco team. And a Redskins team also on the road, the starting Case Keenum, you're not sure what. And then we're back into the Vikings, another really intriguing team. That Raiders game in London before a bye. But Jimmy, take us down the home stretch.
Yeah, you look at the Lions. They were able to sweep the Lions last year. Rams always going to be a challenge. Will they be a Super Bowl hangover, or is that team going to be ready to roll when you look at the Rams?
You know what? I think it's Minnesota, obviously, is the competition. But the team, you mentioned Flacco, Kyle. I'll tell you what, Denver's got the defense, and Flacco is playing with the grudge on his shoulder.
It's fascinating. I love seeing that. I also love the Bears going international. These Chicago Bears will be hopping the pond to London, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Bears versus Raiders. Tariq Cohen overseas as an ambassador dressed as a beefeater, a royal guard or whatnot. But it's a great game and obviously an intriguing matchup. If you've been watching the Raiders lately, it's a laugh a minute, but a lot of talent on that team.
Really beefed up their offense, and obviously Derek Carr and John Gruden trying to get on the same page, and they're happy about, they feel they drafted foundational players. It's going to take some time to build. I think they're about a year away.
We'll see Kyle Fuller versus Antonio Brown in that game. Meanwhile, Titans moving down the field.
Hey, you know what I've been really encouraged with, though? The tackling by the secondary guys.
Yeah.
I mean, for not on either team, not playing much in the preseason and not doing much in practice, these guys haven't missed many tackles. It's been good. I've been encouraged.
Yeah, Jonathan Mincy, really good right there, number 31. Really lowering his shoulder and wrapping.
Mincy's flying around. He's been doing it for 4 quarters tonight, really for 4 weeks. We're down 3, though. This is an intriguing end here, especially if Coach Wanstead's philosophy about no field goals to tie holds true. And you know what else holds true? Another flag. Another flag.
That's been the only discouraging thing of the game, I think, both teams. Don't you think, Jim?
Yeah, and that's
the number of penalties, you know?
Yeah, a lot of these guys.
Oh, and these
Personal
officials.
foul,
They won't.
chop block, offense. Number 73, 15-yard penalty, remains first down.
Vrabel looks like he has a lot of questions, and so do our viewers tonight, guys. Another question through the Verizon #QB connection. All right, Adam Amin weighing in. 4th and goal to win. Is Jim Miller keeping the ball to throw or handing it to Kyle Brandt for the win? Jim, take it away.
I think, I'd probably hand it off to Kyle Brandt. He's got it in his roots. He's got the wiggle in him. I believe Greg Miller, the PR department of the Bears, he showed me some of your video, Kyle.
He did?
You can take it to the house.
Kyle, don't believe him. Jim's keeping the ball. Don't believe him. Quarterback sneak.
In honor of the Stevenson Patriots, we call Patriot left.
Okay.
Going to
That's
Kyle Brandt.
it. The Warren Blue Devils, Antioch Seacoits, Zion Benton ZBs, they didn't want any of the Patriots. But Adam, thank you for the question. He would go to you, of course. You're the primary receiver. I'm simply the number 2. But Dave would want it to all be about defense, of course.
I'd let Jim keep it. Quarterback sneak.
I don't know. He's much like Tariq Cohen, a 438 pass. He's got an arm.
Yeah,
He got an arm, Kyle.
I can, yeah.
What did I say about Tariq Cohen? He makes you get out of your chair, right?
He does.
Can Kyle make us get out of it? Can you make someone get out of their chair and it was a
False
football
start,
in your hands?
offense. Number 52.
Yeah, to walk out while I'm
Yeah, to leave.
Penalty, remains first down.
I can throw it a little bit. I had a catch on the field before the game with Mitch Trubisky. I'm not kidding. I got some time with him for a piece we're doing for the NFL Network. Talked to him all about the season. Some of Mitch's really interesting personal habits. He's a very big organizational guy. He has a whole system of filing his pags and his game tape. Mitch is ready, but he is a cut-up too. He's loose. He was with his best friend Cody Whitehair, and we threw the ball around. I think he's ready for next Thursday night, and he better be. It's time.
Got to have your routine, and he's getting his routine down. That's for sure. I really like his approach this whole offseason. I think he's attacked it the whole way through.
Another big hit from the Bears. They are just flying around tonight. That's Doyen Jaboyu. Big hit, clean as a whistle. Are we going to hit the 2-minute warning? Yes, we are. They did not get it off. Guys, 3rd and 15. Titans down 3. 2 minutes to play. We got high drama here at Soldier Field. The fans aren't going anywhere. We love you, Chuck. The great artists work in mysterious ways, gentlemen. This went on during the commercial as the action is on the other end of the field during a stop and play. Eddie Pinheiro was out there kicking, throwing up some grass, and I got to tell you, the distance he's setting up at is 43 yards. You can't make it up.
I hope he realizes that they're playing defense right now, and the other team has the ball.
It's like pickup basketball when someone's on the court while the action's on the other end. Listen, Eddie, you've had a night tonight. If you want to go out there and toss some grass, you can do it. You're the man, all confidence. Stay out there the whole night if you want, Eddie. Little unusual, though. And here we go. 3rd and long. Bears up 3. Logan Woodside from the MAC. Downfield, he's got it.
5-man rush. Man coverage, man free, huh, Jimmy?
Yep, man free.
Safety in the middle.
That's Anthony Ratliff Williams, an undrafted free agent from North Carolina, Mitch Trubisky's alma mater.
Almost got the pressure in there, bad. He dropped it in the dime there of the seam.
Woodside dumps it off again. That's Alex Barnes, goes out of bounds. The clock will stop. That was a 30-yard gain on 3rd and long.
Chuck Harris was so close. Just all he had to do was stretch out the arm potentially to swat at the football. May have negated that big seam route. Watch Chuck Harris coming around the corner right here. That's the play after.
Boom.
Good tackling.
Stops the clock. We got high drama. 2nd and goal. Bears fans letting the defense hear it down in that end zone. Woodside looks, 2nd option, 3rd option, back of the end zone, incomplete. All right. I'm loving this.
Good coverage, Jameer Thurman, linebacker.
You know, this is kind of good for the coaches right here. Good for Chuck Pagano, I think. You know, he's got to come up with some calls.
It's similar to the Giants game. They were down on the 1-yard line when Clifton Duck made the interception. You got to make a play. And here, let's see who can make the play.
And he's got to make a call, you know what I mean? And assistants, I mean, everybody's involved, and this is good.
Don't sleep on an interception here by the Bears. They got 3 red zone takeaways this preseason. I'm smelling an INT here. 3rd and goal. Dumps it down the back. He's wide open. Touchdown.
4-man rush.
Titans take the lead. It looked easy, and yet they left some time on the clock.
This is a critical point right here.
Well, big point. Well, I think it's assignments. I think Joe and Jabowu has the safety's got to buzz out and take the man in the flat because the linebacker manned up, Coach. Yes. Corner goes inside. Safety's got to peel out to catch the flat runner. There you see him right there.
You're correct.
Boy and Jabowu.
You are correct, Jimmy.
That's Dallin Dawkins' 2nd receiving touchdown of the night. No relation to Brian or Darryl for that matter. But this would give the Titans that 4-point lead out of Eddie Piñeiro's reach. And the kick is good, which means it's time for Tyler Bray to go down the field with 1:25 left and see if they can win this thing going into the regular season. We're going to stay right here. Jim, what do you do?
That's a good drill for him. Chase Daniel's already done it twice in the preseason. It was before half that led to points, but now game's on the line. You got 1:25 left. Dave Ragone, they're talking situations right now. Hey, get him going now. Get him going. Get him out of bounds. Stop the clock. Work the clock.
Yeah, and it gives Matt Nagy an opportunity with some timeouts in this situation. You know what I mean? So this is all good. I mean, he's talking right now. You know, when it gets down to whatever 45 seconds, we don't want to call a timeout till then. So this is good. He's always got someone in the press box keeping track of the replay stuff. This is all good stuff right here, I think. You know, just from a coach's dress rehearsal.
This is why we played these preseason guys. You know, they want to get rid of these games. This is magic right here.
Well, really, Tyler Bray, he's been in one regular season game. I mean, for him to experience this live action, it's one thing to do it in practice. To be out here and do it live, it really is a benefit to preseason play.
Here we go. Let's see if we can get a return.
Oh, we got one.
Nope. And he's going to let it go. Coach, how badly does Matt Nagy want to win this game? Does he?
Oh, I think he definitely does. Absolutely. I mean, because they've played, I thought they played pretty well, you know, every week. And, yeah, it's a mindset going into the locker room. There's a big difference, you know, with a win and a loss for every game. Preseason, regular season.
Yep.
Guys show up tomorrow, even though it's preseason, you just feel a little better about yourself.
Well, they've been very aggressive. They were aggressive at the end of the first half where they were going 4 and 5 wide and throwing it all over the place. Every reason to expect here, Jim, that Bray's just going to start chucking this thing.
He's been very effective doing it. Why stop now?
All 3 timeouts remaining. Time really not a factor. It's a matter where they can go.
Titans playing a soft cover 2. They're going to let him dump it off, Jimmy, and just see, come up and tackle him.
That's Josh Caldwell, short gain. He tried to cut it back against the grain, but they're going no huddle. Get up on the ball. Look at Nagy locked in, all business.
Defense, 4 down linemen. They're going to play a 2 deep zone. There they go. Hit the middle of the field right there. First down.
That works.
Hustle them up. Get them going.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts remaining. They need the touchdown. There's Horsted in motion. He's been a hot target all throughout the game, number 47. Thomas Ives has also been good in this game. Oh boy, here we go. We're going deep. He just misses it. He's trying to hit Joe Walker on the fade. Stops the clock at 34 seconds now.
Yeah, Tennessee changed it up right there. They went to a 2-deep man, and the corner just ran with the receiver all the way. They did not play zone like they did the first 2 plays. Nice change up on defense.
You know, on the flip side, the Titans badly want to shut this thing down. Both these coaches want it. The competitiveness takes over. Here we go. 2nd and 10. Clock now a major factor, going down to 32 seconds. Bray checks it down again. That's Caldwell, gain of 10. Got to use a timeout. Suppose the silver lining, gentlemen, if the Bears lose this game, they will finish 1-3 in the preseason, the identical preseason record of the 85 Bears. If anyone's scoring at home, all these things matter.
Yeah, they got to get at least one more first down before they start throwing it in the end zone, you know. So I haven't. They're checking down in the middle. I would expect them, Jimmy, to start throwing some out-breaking routes. You know?
You want to hit the out-breaking routes. A lot of times the defense, like you said, they try to defend it there.
Yep.
So that you can't step out of bounds. But because they have the benefit of having a couple more timeouts, a deep in cut, I wouldn't mind that, Coach. If they're going to play that too high, try and sneak in a deep in cut, but just know you'll be calling a timeout soon after.
And they need a touchdown, we know that. So that changes everything, obviously, compared to a field goal as far as the plays you'd run. Yeah, they're going to give them the out up top.
Quarter half, it looks like.
Yep, I'd take the quick out up top and try to get out of bounds.
Uh-oh. Timeout, big sack there. That's real deflating right there for the Bears. They burned the timeout, 22 seconds. Now we're getting to this territory, guys, where Bray's just going to have to unleash one.
Yeah, they were going to try and take a shot there, a deep drop. They were trying to let the post route develop on the outside. Looked like quarter half to me, Coach, and they were trying to go the post route up top. See steps down the field. Nope, he took the in cut and up the seam. So they were trying to go to the in cut. Just not enough time in terms of the pass protection. Broke down left side of the line with Alex Bars. Thought he was pretty solid on the outside. I think he's had a pretty good night to really help himself. Notre Dame tackle.
Titans dropping 7. Let's see if Bray gives somebody a shot downfield. He does. That's Ives again out of Colgate. He's been busy tonight. One more timeout, guys, so they're all gone. We're going to have 16 seconds left.
Yeah, anything inbounds right here, they'll have a tough time getting another play off. They could kill it if they got to get the first down.
Got to get the first. We got a 3rd and long.
Yeah, they have to get the first down. If they don't get the first down, they'll run the clock out. That'll be it.
And he's got to tell those guys in the huddle right now, if he hits the in-breaking route to get a first down, or if it's at the sticks and it's inbounds, be ready. Hustle up there so that they can clock it. Just have one shot at a Hail Mary.
You know, you might see a little trickery here. You think, Jimmy, a little hook and lateral or something maybe?
I love
it. Possible. Absolutely.
Little trick play could work here.
Definitely prevent by Tennessee right here. They're all way back.
Yeah.
Here we go. 3rd and 9. Tyler Bray, 6'6". Over the middle again. He's got Horsted on the ball.
Hustle up.
Move the chains. 9 seconds. 7, 6. They're up there. They should have plenty of time. 3 seconds. 2, and they got it. Woo! 1 second, gentlemen. This is good. Is this good or what?
Well, the ball's coming in the end zone. Well, now you get to work on your Hail Mary.
Here we go. And as we know, Jim, maybe there'll be some pass interference issues on this Hail Mary. It's in the headlines for tonight.
They're going to run the picket fence. You see all the Tennessee Titans defenders back there. But the key now is going to be protection. You saw on the last, they tried to hit the deep in cut. They've got to give them time to launch the football up and work the mechanics of the Hail Mary play.
Is he a good enough athlete to roll at him, you think?
Absolutely. I think he's a big guy, but he moves better than what people think. They're
so
going trips
out
right.
of the game. Horsted out of the game. Jim, trips right. Who are you looking to throw it to here? You want to go Ives?
Yeah, you want to throw to the middle receiver up top. If that's the side he elects to throw to, that way you've got tip ball potential with the other 2 receivers on the outside.
So we got a stoppage in play.
Number 9, 5-yard penalty.
Okay.
Remaining 2nd down.
See, this is good for the coaches now. I mean, you're upset with the penalty because he had a substitution problem. but it's giving you a chance to talk through a situation that may come up in the Green Bay game. So this, I would look at this as a positive.
There are 7 safeties on the field for the Titans. And during that stoppage of play, Jesper Horsted, number 47, came back. He has been the best, most athletic receiver for Tyler Bray tonight. If I'm Bray, I'm throwing it up to 47 and trying to make a miracle.
Yeah, they flipped it to empty left is what they're doing now. 3 receivers down here.
Uh-oh, they got the trick. Look, everybody's in front of them. We got blockers. That's Taquan Mizell, and he laterals it to Horsted, who drops it. The ball is still live, ladies and gentlemen. And it's over. The band is on the field. And there, that was nuts. I didn't know that. You were right, Coach. They pulled out the trick play.
You know what? I would just make sure nobody got hurt. That's all. We got out of.
What did they just pull out? Matt Nagy, you beautiful man. What was this?
Kansas City ran a few years ago with Tyreek Hill, and he scored on it. It's just a little wide receiver screen. Go to Mizell. He's very good as a running back in the open field, and then nobody becomes a Stanford play.
Jimmy, nobody blocked anybody. They had 3 blockers out in front of them.
Wow, that was awesome. But guys, meantime, Miller Lite, player of the game. You know who it is, number 9. He couldn't pull out the miracle, but he was great tonight.
Really, he was on point. Look at the completion percentage, 320 yards. Hey, had a shot at the end there. Last drive down the field, and Police had an opportunity to score there and just fall a little short. But great game by Tyler Bray.
Thrilling game. Coach Wanstead, final thoughts as we head into this Bears season?
Well, I think they got done what they wanted to tonight. You know, they got out reasonably healthy. And I think a couple of these young players, they got a lot of special teams work. It was all good.
Jim?
Don't be complacent. That's what Coach Nagy is talking about. I think this team has worked extremely hard this offseason.
An honor and a thrill to be here at Soldier Field for the last preseason game. We're going to leave you with the sights, the sounds, the fireworks of this 2019 preseason for the Chicago Bears. It was a great one. It was an important one. And 1 week from tonight, they will take on the Packers to start the season. See you next Thursday.
Montgomery, the 3rd-round pick, is in for his first NFL touchdown. Oh, pressure on Daniel Jones. It was knocked away and stripped. Play action. Tanny, Clifton Duck, the diving pick. Deon Bush with another takeaway for the Bears, and he takes it to the house. Jesper Horsted pulled it in. What a catch! Right down the middle. How about it, Eddie Pinheiro?
Gray looking to throw to the end zone. Back shoulder throw. Touchdown! Bear down! Oh, Horsted! He's got it! I can't believe this kid!